kick this off. We just gonna give it a few minutes. Let some people pop in here. All right, we starting. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm just gonna give it a second to kick off here. What time is it now? Is it 4:30? It's 4:30 my time, 1:30 your time. All right, that's what's up. Well, let's kick it off. Let's get right into it. Obviously, Fighthype Live. We're back in the building. I got my man Sean out in Las Vegas. I got my man Stacy also out in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I am not there in Las Vegas to enjoy the extracurricular activities that are legal out there. But you know, I'll do my best to get out there soon so I can enjoy it. But anyway, fellas, a lot going on in the past couple weeks. A lot going on in the next couple weeks. So yeah, I don't know where should we begin. I mean, I guess we could probably start off in. Wait, what did you say, Stace? That's what I was about to say. We got to start it off with the big boys, mainly because obviously both of them had their media workouts. Both of them are looking ready to rock and roll. And Sean, you actually got an opportunity to head out to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and spend some time with Mr. Wilder. So why don't you just kind of let us know what that whole experience was like when you were out there, how he's looking, just the whole vibe from his camp. Oh wait, hold on, Sean, hold on. There's no sound. Somebody said there's no sound. Let me make sure. We got our sound check going here. Hold on. We just gonna make sure. We gonna make sure we get the sound corrected here. Oh, that's okay. We gonna fix this real quick. We're gonna try and fix it real quick. Why I gotta be a nerd though? Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, I know. I just fixed it real quick. All right, we good? Can y'all hear us now? All right, y'all good. We good. All right. So anyway, like we were saying. Hold on, is there no sound again? Now people are saying there's no sound. Did we lose sound again? Oh, y'all fucking with us. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, I know, but you can't hear you. Hold on a second. Nope. That's all right, though. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. We working on it. Okay.
This thing is fold.
Why I gotta be Beanie Siegel's twin?
They probably talking about me. I'm the Beanie Siegel with the beard and the.
All right.
They talking about me with the braids. Yeah.
No, they should.
I'll be that, man.
They should be able to hear you now. I had to switch a wire real quick.
Okay, so they should hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, but okay, so basically with Wilder, watching them spar for 12 rounds.
Wait, hold on. Just to catch y'all up real quick. Sean was actually in camp with Deontay Wilder for a couple days. He got a chance to get an up close and personal look at his training camp and how everything went. So yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Sean. You may proceed.
Yeah, and watching them for 12 rounds, it reminded me of what the HBO crew used to say about Lennox Lewis, which was you could either choose to look at his flaws because there was definitely chinks in the armor, but look at all that armor. Like you could either look at Lennox's gas tank or his chin, the fact that he had been knocked out in previous fights, or you could look at all the fact that he was 6'5" and, had a great jab and all that. And that's kind of the case with Wilder. You could either look at the fact that he doesn't throw a whole lot of punches. He's not the most technically sound guy. He'll pull out with his hands down and his chin up. But yet he's more athletic than any man his size we've maybe ever seen. He's the most athletic heavyweight in the division. He arguably has, when he's right, as fast a hands as anybody or faster than anybody. And he's got the biggest punch in the division. So for everything he does wrong, he has so much going for him. And when I watched him again, I noticed that as he's at this top level now, he likes to slow the pace down. He's not throwing a lot of punches. He's even a little bit, no one ever uses this word with Deontay Wilder, but he's even a little bit of a counter puncher. He not in the traditional sense of he makes you miss clean and then boom, tags you, but he likes to lure you into an exchange on his terms and then get you with that right hand in the middle of the exchange because he knows he only has to land it once or twice. The problem is he's not worried about winning rounds. You could watch the interview up on Fighthype. He says, I'm not always worried about winning rounds. You're going to lose rounds. Because then he has the mindset of a puncher. He's going to try and knock you out before the 12 rounds are over. So he's not always worried about winning every single round like a Alexander Usyk, who fights tomorrow.
Does that surprise you to hear that, though, that he has that mentality?
I think it's a flaw. I think it's a flaw. I think that can cost him against a fighter like Tyson Fury. But the question with Fury is he going to have his legs? And when he feels Deontay Wilder's power, because not only is Deontay a great puncher, but he's athletic. So he knows how to get the missile to the mark. Even if he misses the first 10 or 11, at some point he finds a way to line you up and throw it right down the middle and get you. So I want to know if when Fury feels that, if he'll get gun shy. Because no matter who Wilder fights, even in sparring with guys that are undefeated heavyweights with 18-ounce gloves on, these guys are afraid to exchange with him. I mean, he makes guys timid. So that's the question. Will Fury be able to outwork him and win round around and not get caught at some point in the 12 rounds? But I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to divulge a little information here. Jay Diaz told me that when they fought Luis Ortiz, they started slow on purpose because they knew Ortiz was older and that he was very strong in the first 4 rounds. So why exchange the right with the left with Ortiz early on? So they waited a few rounds. But they said against Fury, they noticed with Fury, he's a guy who gets confidence as the fight goes on. And if you watch the Klitschko fight, that's very obvious. Every round that Vlad didn't do anything, Fury got bigger in there and more confident in there. So they're going to look to crack Fury early, so to not let him build confidence. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. And, I want to see what you guys are thinking too. But just being up there with Wilder, that's how I'd sum him up, man. He's very talented, very dangerous, and flawed. Almost as flawed as he is talented, but his pros outweigh his cons. Like they used to say about Lennox, there's chinks in the armor, but there's a lot of armor there too.
What did I know that I think that I think both Jay and Deontay had mentioned something about the Luis Ortiz camp not being very good. I think Deontay said it was a shitty camp or something like that.
That's exactly what he said.
Did they kind of like get into how this camp is compared to that last camp?
Well, they just said, quote, personal problems. A lot of personal problems and personal distractions heading into the Ortiz camp. His trainer said he would put him at about 70% for that fight. This camp, they didn't elaborate too much on why it was a better camp. They do have good sparring, undefeated Junior Fa, 15-0. Malik Scott is a veteran, undefeated Kazakhstanian fighter who's 7-0 with 7 knockouts. Maybe their sparring's better. But Deontay pretty much just put it as, in his personal life, things are better heading into this fight than they were for the Ortiz fight. But you never know if that's him saying after the fact because it was a tough fight. If he's making reasons for why he struggled against Ortiz, but we'll see.
Did you? Well, I mean, obviously, I know you saw it because you were there, and I saw it because I got all the footage from the media workout. But I'm just curious, Stacy, did you get a chance to see any of the media workout videos or any of Sean's videos? I'm just wondering if you got a chance to see Malik Scott's impersonation of Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I seen it. It may work for what they're trying to do, or they could have been smoke screening us, giving us a smoke and mirror of what's really going on. But I don't think that was a good impression. But I don't know what he exactly trying to get out of it. I mean, I think that both fighters, I think they just putting in the work, but I don't think neither on both sides of the fence. I don't think they really can get nobody to imitate each other. They both pretty unique.
I was gonna ask you if you think that's important. Like, is it? I mean, I'm assuming they just had him doing that to give Deontay a look of some of the crazy stuff that Tyson's gonna do. But does that even matter?
To me, I think that not really. I think that like if somebody's a softball fight naturally you want a softball, but sometimes like Pacquiao. Who do you really get to imitate Pacquiao?
Right.
At certain levels, because at the end of the day, they the best that's in the division at this point. They're the champion, they're undefeated. You know what I'm saying? And this fight definitely I'm excited for. So it's like, I guess the size and stuff can be a reason. And then like Sean said, he had a decent name and teams of people, so he may be using a combination of all three of their things. And he may be using him for just a certain look, or using somebody for how he gonna go to the body. It could be so many things. And then both of these dudes, it's so weird because what's his name is more the skill fighter on the surface.
Fury.
But like he said, I've been watching Wilder for a while, and he will do some things, glimpse of stuff that looks real beautiful. You'll catch him with you'll catch him with angles. You catch him doing a lot of things that a lot of good fighters don't do well. But it's glimpse of it. So hopefully this is the fight that forces him to bring out all of his tricks. I don't think that he brought out all his tricks. I think the other thing brought out his heart with Ortiz. But I think this one, from the jump, he's gonna try to show you. He's gonna try to prove something different for some reason.
No, I think you're right, Stacey. That's why he kept saying on his media day, "I'm gonna outbox him first, then knock him out."
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
but isn't that dangerous? Like, isn't that a bad idea to try and outbox the boxer?
I think that he might feel that it may be a bad idea usually, but at this point, he probably he's in there with what he feels, which hopefully he don't ever underestimate nobody, but he may feel that this is the time to experience it because he's not as physically dangerous with the what's name. I don't know, but
it might be.
Of course, no matter what, you always come back to your habits in boxing. They don't die. So eventually, he is who he is. But I always said that it's a lot of stuff. He get a lot of slack, but me and my cousin, Davon D-Block, he said, we was talking about this, we was like, the thing that's funny, he only really wild when you hurt. If you really pay attention to him, he's not just naturally wild. His instincts is good. He's a sharp dude naturally. Philly in the building.
What's good? What's good?
Oh, there he is. Good. There he is. What's up, Rock? We just talking about your boy, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, but like I said, I got it. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I had a 60-40 wasn't anywhere. At this point, closer to get to it and different stuff, because they so tricky that it's like watching your tapes and Sean tapes. No matter who tape I watch, I'm like, they're not giving us nothing, man. I don't. This is a fight that they gotta get in the ring to see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a good one. To me, it's no way this could be a boring fight. There's no way.
Yo, Rock.
I don't think it's gonna be a boring fight. I can't see it.
Yo, Rock, did you get a chance to see any of Sean's videos in camp with Deontay or any of Deontay's workout?
I've seen all the videos.
I was just
phenomenal.
I was phenomenal. He said, "Wow, phenomenal." Well,
I think he looks great. I didn't hear you guys' conversation before I came on, but he looks great, man. He looks like he's in tremendous shape. He looks strong. I mean, he looks fast. I seen a video with him kind of doing a 360 spin, and even that looked pretty good, man. I don't know, man. I don't get where everybody's saying that it's going to be a close fight.
Wow.
I think he's just gonna. I think he's gonna play with him and show the world that he can box, because everybody's doubting his boxing skills. And then I think he's gonna put him to sleep. And that's no disrespect to Tyson Fury.
It is a little bit, but it's okay.
I'm just giving my opinion on how I think the fight's gonna go. I really like Tyson Fury. I think he's great for boxing. I like his personality. But I don't think that he's gonna beat Wilder. I don't think it's gonna be great competition. I don't think Wilder's going to get beat by a person that's slower and taller. I think Anthony Joshua's a little – I think he's 6'3", and Wilder's 6'7".
No. AJ's 6'6".
AJ's 6'6"?
Yeah.
And he fights – I think Joshua fights a little lower than Wilder. I think you're going to –
He does.
It's going to take a person to get in there to tag Wilder up. I don't think it's going to be a guy that stands straight up and throws jabs and hugs. I think – that Wilder's going to be expecting that. He's going to step back and clean him out, man.
Wow. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Now with Wilder, I don't see the. Now I agree on that. I don't see the hugging thing working with him.
No.
Now the feet. Now that's where we disagree. The feet it's all. The feet is a motherfucker if you can use them feet. But like you say, 12 rounds a long time to get away from Wilder, man.
And we haven't seen those feet.
He is going to touch you. Now, I don't care who you is. Like you said, he's going to land it. He's going to put the jab where he needs. He's going to move your head to get that right off. He's going to get that punch. So, and if his plan is to come early, it's going to get real interesting, because the starting slow thing ain't good for him, because the longer the more it takes for him to get to you, because he's going to get to you.
He's a bigger target. Hey, Sean, did Wilder look a little more muscular?
Yes.
Than we're used to?
Up top, yeah, man.
He looked a lot muscular.
I was surprised.
So
I was surprised to see how big Swole looked up top. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't swole. He's not like Anthony Joshua level, but
yeah, I'm just saying.
He's not skinny. He's not skinny up top. He's got those skinny legs, but up top, he was looking pretty strong. Like he could be more in the 220-ish neighborhood than 214, 215. So
that's even more.
He looks elusive, man. I know you guys were laughing at that spin, man, but when he's like, big guys can't move the way he moves, man.
Yep. I was just saying that, Rock. I was saying for all his problems, man, I can't think. Yeah.
I seen that move, I realized
he got basketball player like moves, man. Like
he could go to the MMA and win.
I don't know about that. I
don't know about that.
That was a nice spin. That was a nice spin, man, off the dribble, man. I don't know, man.
Wait a minute. You said NBA. I thought you said MMA.
I said MMA.
No,
he
did say MMA. I don't know about that one.
Man.
I don't know, man. He might get some, man.
I don't know about that.
But I got
him down the pipe is over, but
he got the small legs and the big ass top.
Oh yeah, you're right. The kicks,
I don't even know if he'll be able to check a leg kick, man. He might get his leg snapped in half if he tried to check one of them leg kicks from one of them MMA fighters. So, you know.
I don't know if it was Marlo Ronaldo or one of the commentators once said that his waist, he has a 38-inch waist. Is that true?
No idea.
I have no idea.
6'7" with a 38-inch waist is ridiculous. Like, I'm 6'3". My waist is, I mean, I got a 38-inch waist, but he's super bigger than I am. Like, I don't know, standing next to him, he just dwarfs me.
Mm. Yeah, but it's funny though. I mean, because like what Rock's saying, like for Wilder gets, you know, he gets crapped on a lot by people in the media and fans. For a guy who's 40-0 and has knocked out everybody he's fought, he gets a lot of shit. And just like Rock's saying, he does stuff at 6'7" that pretty much no one else his size can do in a boxing ring. You know, it's just that you compound that with so many kind of flaws that you don't even see from guys in the top 10. But so he's a little bit of a paradox, Deontay Wilder. You know, he's flawed, but he makes his flaws work for him sometimes. He's dangerous but flawed. So very talented, but his pros outweigh his cons, man. And if he can beat Fury, I think people will start appreciating him more for his pros instead of criticizing him for his cons, especially if he gets the knockout.
Sure, this is the thing about it, man. Get on me if y'all want, but right now, and he do a lot of stuff a lot of people can't do his side, but it goes both ways. Like, you know, what's name got a couple tricks up his sleeve. I don't see big man,
right?
Can do it. Like as in his feet. So it's just real interesting. It makes for a good one, man.
Well, he's definitely gonna need his feet, man. But it looks like he got him back in this game
because he's gonna need everything.
Yeah, everything. But especially those.
You get the sense that Wilder has something to prove as far as like his boxing ability. Do you think he's gonna get in there and just, like I said, show the world that he can outbox him? I don't see him going in there and just going for the knockout. Yeah, I see him.
I think
him fighting this fight. I see him fighting this fight. He fight.
I think regardless of what he says, and at times he really believes what he says about he wants to go out there and box and show what he can do boxing. I think at the end of the day, he's got a puncher's mentality. You know, I think at the end of the day, he's really not that concerned with winning rounds and looking pretty. He believes in his power, and he believes if worse comes to worse, his power could bail him out. So, and I think that could be his downfall in this fight, possibly. He could let too many rounds get away from him with Fury. He could let Fury outwork him because Wilder doesn't like to throw a lot of punches. But no, I think he'll come in with the intent to do that. But push comes to shove, like Stacey said earlier, he's going to pretty much revert back to what he's been his whole career, and that's the mentality of a puncher, you know. So he'll talk about his boxing skills. I think early he'll try and show Fury a stiff jab and show some moves in there to make the crowd at Staples ooh and ah. But ultimately, man, he's trying to bomb you out of there inside of 12 rounds, not win the decision.
He bomb Swab, man.
Yeah.
What he do?
Not to mention he has something to prove to the Joshua crowd, too. He wants that fight, and I think he's going to, you know, come through and show the fans that he deserves that fight, and he deserves a good share in that fight as well. Like,
I actually worry, though, that he ever believes his hype about his power. Because as real as his power is, you don't want to fall in love with it and let guys win rounds, you know? So I just want – I'm sorry, Rock, like you were saying.
I got a question. Yeah. Okay.
Rock, my bad.
Who believes
– you good?
Rockman, I got a question for you. Do you believe that he could outbox him for 12 rounds?
Dude, I think his boxing ability is underrated, man. His
I agree.
His
I agree. It's underrated, but do you think it's good enough to beat him in boxing?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I don't want to disrespect Tyson Fury. I actually like Tyson Fury a lot. I like interviewing him. I like what he brings to the sport. But Wilder is just that guy right now, man. It is what it is. He's that guy. His jab looks better than a lot of guys' power punch.
Oh yeah, he got damn
guys' right hand. That jab that he was sticking out at Stavern, the second fight, that shit wasn't to be played with, yo.
How many rounds did that fight go? The second Stavern fight. Just
one.
Just one. So we got one round of that jab that is not to be played with. Oh, yeah. No, I think it's
He the new Pinkman Thomas, man. He the new Pinkman Thomas with that jab.
he said Pinkman Thomas.
Listen,
Listen, I think it's going to be a good fight. Sean, did you see anything that changed your opinion about how the fight is going to play out? I mean, not just being in or any of you guys really, not just being in Wilder's camp. Did any of you guys see anything in either of the guys' workouts, Tyson or Deontay's workouts, that made you say, you know? I mean, clearly Rockman didn't say.
Mine went. First I had
Rockman, you probably think it's an easier fight now. But no, did you guys see anything?
I don't want to say easy, man. Like, I don't want to give the fans the wrong impression that I'm disrespecting Tyson. I like Tyson Fury, but man, Wilder is on one right now, man. He's on one, period. You watch.
I got it 50-50, man. I had a 60-40, but I don't know. 50-50, man. They them two guys, man, believe a lot. And usually you say, man, who won it most? I'm like, damn, who won it most with this case? Because I'm like, damn, these dudes really got a serious belief in themselves. And it's just, it's going to be a good one. I just think it's going to be a good one. Not like knockdown, drag. I think it's going to be a lot of, like I said, I think that Wilder will show something that we probably never seen a little bit. I think he try to show something different. If that work, he'll continue. If not, he's going to do what he always do. I mean, it's an instinct. He knocked out every opponent he fought, and one survivor, and he ended up catching back up to his ass. So, yeah, man. His mission is to knock you out eventually, so.
Well, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Obviously, we have.
Oh, but Ben, I gotta.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
I did think that I counted Fury out too soon after how subpar he looked in his 2 fights back against Seferi and Pianetta. I think actually what I took away after watching these guys in camp is my opinion of both of them got higher heading into the fight. You know, they're both really awkward, and you could look at their flaws, but 6'9" and 6'7", and they do things no one else their size can do. So it's going to be a really unique looking fight in terms of styles. They're both really awkward. We're going to get a handful of taunts, I think. So not only are we going to get fists flying and action, but I think we're going to get some laughs. I think both guys, stick their chins out at each other, taunt each other, especially early. But I think I counted Fury out a little too soon. He's starting to finally look like himself again. When you look at him in camp for this fight, he's saying all the right things. You're starting to feel what he says again, like how he was before his layoff. And I think he can hit Wilder. I think he can, hit him as Wilder likes to take his time. But ultimately, I still think Wilder will knock him out at some point in the fight. I'm starting to see why people said Fury could be ahead on the cards and get knocked out later in the fight. I could see that. But basically, I think I counted Fury out a little too soon. I think originally when I heard this fight was announced, I was like, it's over, man. He's going to get timber. He's just going to get totally KTFO, knocked the fuck out. But now I think we got a fight on our hands. So I'm really looking forward to it. I still got Wilder. I think you should put your money on Wilder. I see he's only a minus 190 favorite, which isn't really that bad. I mean, so I got Wilder, but we got a fight on our hands, and it's going to be interesting, entertaining, and funny.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you want to make money, put all your money on a draw. I'm calling it right now, a draw. Whether it's controversial or whether it's legit, it's going to be a draw, and these guys are going to have to fight again. Calling it.
You think he's going to survive?
Fury?
Yeah.
I think it's going to go to the scorecards. I think that there may be a knockdown or two, but something just tells me it's going to go to the scorecards. And if it goes to the scorecards, there's going to be a lot of nervous people on both sides wondering what the outcome is going to be. And I think it's going to be a draw. And there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. But, hey, it is what it is. They'll do it again, and everybody will make a lot of money. And, it's not like either one of them are going to have any other fights anyway, since neither guy sounds like they're going to be fighting Anthony Joshua next. Or I could reverse that and say it doesn't sound like Anthony Joshua is going to be fighting either one of those guys next. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think it's going to be a draw. Something, I don't know. I just had a premonition the other night, and draw is coming to me. And keep in mind, I did call Pacquiao getting knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez when it happened. So, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, I want to get to the fight this weekend. Yeah, somebody said, Ben, really a draw? Yeah, a draw. I'm calling it a draw. And when it happens, remember where you heard it first, and come back. We'll do a show on, who is that? Let me get this guy's name. Live Free Die Old. I gotta write that down. So when a draw happens, we're gonna come back here and you can thank me for the amount of money that you made if you took my advice.
Remember, we all had Canelo in the rematch with Triple G, which was he's supposed to be the underdog in that fight. So
right,
yeah. And we literally had a clean sweep for Canelo.
Somebody said I'm wrong.
Before we move on, you think it's appropriate to talk about the whole issue with you know what and Fury kicking one of the reporters out of the gym?
Oh no, I want to. We can talk about that turd ball. I'm gonna have to dedicate an entire show to that. I'm gonna have to dedicate an entire show to that because we're gonna have to get into some of the things he's done and some of the issues. Like we're gonna get into that. I don't even really want to touch on it right now because that's literally gonna be its own show. But that was funny. That was very funny. I found it very funny that he tried to act like he was cool with them and there was no problems. But like I said, that's a whole other story. I know where you're. I know. I definitely know you want to get into it, Rahman, Sean. I want to get into it too, but we have to save that for another show just because we gonna need about 3 good hours to break that down.
All right.
So yeah, no, let's jump into the fight this weekend. Obviously, Tony Bellew and Alexander Usyk.
Great fight.
The big cruiserweight undisputed championship. They just had the weigh-in today. Both guys look solid. Both guys look like they made the weight, no problem. Yeah, somebody just said his name. Yeah, that's who we're talking about. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Did you guys see the weigh-in, Sean? I know you saw it because we talked about it earlier. Did you? I
thought Bellew won maybe a little bit of a mental warfare at the weigh-in. You could say you could read too much into that stuff. Looking at little mental games, but it did remind me just a little bit of Canelo and Triple G. Canelo moved in on the Eastern European kind of stoic character and put his face in him. And Bellew wasn't nearly that hostile, but he did step to Usyk and kind of initiate that energy and then said some words to him, I
know. I wish I heard what he said. I wish somebody got that. I was like, what is he saying to him? Is he being friendly? Is he talking shit? What's going on?
Well, he said in an interview afterwards with Sky Sports that what he was telling him was it's war tomorrow, and you better be ready for war. He said, I wasn't disrespecting him. I wasn't saying nothing derogatory, but I was letting him know you better be ready because it's war tomorrow. And Bellew did to Usyk at the weigh-in. So him initiating that kind of energy, stepping to him, putting his chest up on his chest or something close to it, saying those words, it looked like Usyk didn't want to partake in it. He wanted to do his stoicism kind of thing, but then he got some words out of Usyk, and then he pat him on the chest twice, alpha male style, and I thought that, he won a little bit of a mental battle there.
Yo, real quick, not to cut you off, Sean, because you could actually jump right back into this. But I wanted to point out somebody by the name of Ulad in the chat room mentioned the fact that Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs, which is true. I know you've talked to Sean about it. I've talked to Sean about it. We all know that Sean Porter did get a win over Usyk in the amateurs. Again, it's amateurs, which is a little irrelevant, but at the same time, do you think that maybe the style of Sean Porter, do you think that maybe, is that a sign that maybe Usyk has problems with somebody who is in his face and is making it a rough fight?
Man, what I think is let him box right now and let's see how that go.
Well, clearly that's not fair. Clearly that's not fair. I'm just trying to take something away from the fact that Sean Porter was able to beat him, and is that a sign that maybe as good as Usyk looks, being a boxer is someone that gives him constant pressure, is that going to be a problem for him?
Well, I don't think Bellew's that type of fighter like Sean is. I think he's more of a boxer.
I don't think Bellew is either, but Bellew's been talking like that's what, like, he keeps saying this is going to be war. Even his trainer Dave Coldwell kind of mentioned, we're going to have to get in his face and make it a fight. Mm-hmm. Like it almost sounds like that's the type of fight that they're going to bring to him.
Everybody beating around the bush. Can I get a pick? I mean, I can give you my pick. I'm going with Usyk. That motherfucker nice. I'm gonna keep you 100. He can go.
Wow.
I like him. He like a big version of Lil Lomo.
He's not quite Lomachenko.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good.
He big though. You're nasty little big.
He's good, but he's not as unbeatable as his credit. I wouldn't quite put him there with Crawford and Lomachenko. Maybe even Canelo.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing, though. Real quick on the Loma thing, we can't ask guys to step up and challenge themselves. In that fight, he was the guy challenger for a world title in the fewest fights as anyone's ever done in the history. And then even after he lost and he beat Russell, he became a world champion in as fewer fights as anyone's ever done in history. So he definitely lost to Salido,
but how he fight at a bigger style, like the way he do his little moves. Of course not. Come on now, to me, I'm a Mayweather, so we come from the small ways. Our small ways got the skill, and as it goes, different powers and stuff come into play there. To be that big, I can see I can tell they come from the same region. Like,
no doubt.
Like that, not comparing them like that. No, Loma, he a different level.
No, it's a fair comparison, though. I mean, he does a lot of the same things Lomachenko could do, but at 200 pounds. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fair comparison, He's got some amazing feet. I mean, it's in a great stamina. It's amazing to see a guy 200 pounds move for 12 rounds like he does, left, right, constant. And that's part of why I think you got to favor him in this fight is just his gas tank. The guy throws so many punches per round and constantly is working his lead hand, But I think, Ben was talking about Sean Porter's style and Bellew's talking about going face-to-face. I think he means it when he says it's going to be a war, but I don't think he's going to fight like that. I think he's going to try and place his bombs in between Usyk's little, fancy pit-pat, pop, like just in between of Usyk's, for lack of a better term, pity-pat shots. I think he's going to try and place his bombs and kind of counterpunch Usyk, make Usyk walk into some shots. So, I mean, I can't wait. It's a great fight. I call it like 60-40 Usyk.
Wow.
I got to go that route because he said he's leaving after this, man. That's how it go, man. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Do you think that plays into it? Is that going to matter? I know Tony's
play on how I'm a bet for sure.
but
he said he don't care.
But do you think that's going to matter in the fight? Like, does he already have? I mean, obviously he's saying he's retiring after this fight. So is that going to play into the fight? Is that going to mean he's going to fight with basically 1 foot in retirement?
If he really plan on retiring.
Oh, you think he might not be?
Maybe not. I mean, hopefully not. But I think it makes for a good fight though, regardless. Because like you say, once you in the fight, you get hit. I mean. Shit, it's a fight now. Even though it's a check, that's out the door. Right now, I'm trying to beat you up. So I think he's gonna go out on this shield. But to me, when you speak of retirement before a fight, you could have made that a surprise, man. We didn't need to know that.
Well, I think he's been talking about, like, even when he fought David Haye, I think he mentioned that he was probably going to retire after that fight or something like that.
If I lose.
Well, he didn't lose.
So make it easy for him, Usyk.
He said make it easy for him. Wow, that's savage. I think it's a better. I think it's a closer, more competitive fight than you think, Stacy. I think.
I don't think it's smoke. I think he gonna give him some good ones, but I don't know, man. That boy gonna do that. That big Lomo, big bro.
Well, you gotta keep,
little bro.
but you gotta also keep in mind Tony Bellew's had his eye on him for a while now. I mean, not that that matters, but you know,
Tony's smart.
Tony's smart. He's a very, very smart guy, and he's somebody said you smoking crack, Stacy. Y'all so wrong. Stop it. Stop it. No, he's not smoking crack. He lives in Las Vegas.
Hey, you know, cannabis is legal in my state.
Cannabis is legal in Las Vegas. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's legal, man. See?
That is legal. Viva Las Vegas. Yeah, no. Bellew has had his eye on Usyk for a very, very long time, and you know, yeah. He's, you know, he saw him coming. Like he kind of probably envisioned this fight, and he didn't have no problems taking it. So a lot of times when I see guys are quick to is this fight hype? Yes, this is fight hype. A lot of times when guys are quick to you know, to take a fight that they don't have to take, you know, I gotta wonder why they took it to begin with. I mean, Tony Bellew, like I said, he was coming off that David Haye, you know, back-to-back wins. He did not have to fight Usyk. You know, there's a lot of other guys that he could have fought. He could have fought another heavyweight fight and probably made the same amount of money. So I sometimes have to ask myself, you know, why are these guys? Same thing with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury did not have to fight Deontay Wilder at all. Like Tyson Fury, for all intents and purposes, could have said, you know, I'm gonna need maybe 2 more tune-ups. Like nobody was pressuring Tyson Fury to say, oh man, you really got to fight Deontay Wilder. Quit ducking him. Nobody was saying that. So, you know, sometimes I have to wonder, like, yo, why did he take this fight? Did he see? Same thing with Mikey Garcia. Same thing with Mikey Garcia and wanting this Errol Spence fight. Again, to me, that's crazy. Like, what are you talking about wanting to fight Errol Spence? You could fight Lomachenko. You could fight Pacquiao. If you want to fight a welterweight, fight Pacquiao. Like, there's a lot of other guys you could fight other than Errol Spence, but Mikey is insistent on fighting Errol Spence. So he must see something. Like, he's got, like, you have to believe that these guys see something if they're taking fights that they don't have to take. Now, that don't mean they're gonna win because of that, but it does make me kind of pause and say, like, what's up with that? You know, why would they take that fight? But it's neither here nor there. I think
we've seen it backfire though. You know, Oscar for some reason wanting to fight Bernard Hopkins or Kell Brook wanting to fight Golovkin. It's like that didn't work out so well.
I think at the time, I think Oscar kind of had to. He didn't have to fight Hopkins, but I don't think he had any other good options for pay-per-view money at that time. If my memory serves, I have to go back. I mean, it's been a while. I have to check the memory banks, but
I mean, maybe a rematch with Trinidad was floating out there.
Nah,
you know?
not really.
But you would know better than I. You were actually on the scene.
Oh, you're calling me old. You're calling me old.
No,
you're calling me old. You're like, you would know better than me. You were around during the Stone Age, Ben. So
no. It was more big up in you. trying to let them know.
Yeah, I've burned off some of those brain cells, so I can't really remember too much back then.
But you're talking about Bellew seeing something in Usyk. I mean, it's interesting because no one's made Usyk have to adjust. When I watch Usyk, I see a guy who might have another gear, and that's why I'm looking forward to the fight too. I think Bellew is going to bring the best out of Usyk because I just don't see him beating Bellew all night the way he just beat a guy like Asiev and everyone else he's beaten. He's beaten good fighters, but not crafty guys, smart guys like Tony Bellew.
He did have problems with Breedis. He did have problems with Breedis. You know, and that's what makes me kind of wonder. Like, I wonder if Tony Bellew and really listening to his trainer Dave Caldwell. You know, it's not that he's given away the entire game plan or anything like that, but he's dropped enough nuggets for me to say, like, you guys, I mean, they definitely have a game plan, and they've definitely seen something that they think that they can expect. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
And with Usyk, you know, I see people make it.
Bet on the
What
over.
happened, Stacey?
If you gonna bet, just bet on the over, man.
Bet on the over.
Oh.
I mean, just to nitpick Usyk, though. I mean, like early when Lomachenko lost to Salido, I thought one of the reasons why is the pit pat, and then commit to something, right? I felt as Lomachenko got better and better, he did less of those, pit pat punches. He still uses them better than anybody, but he touch, bang, touch, bang, bang. Now it became he got more heavy shots in his arsenal. As he
you can tell Sean back in the gym. Sean like touch, bang. Okay, Sean.
But Usyk still, to me, is that's why I wouldn't say he's quite Lomachenko, because more of his punches are those pity pats instead of those, hard shots that he's setting up with. And that's what I want to see. I think Bellew can do is bring that out of him. I think he's going to force him, because you'll see Usyk, these little, every round he'll let go. He'll sit down on 3 or 4 real good ones. But for most of the round, he's just touch. And I want to see Bellew force him to bring out his heavy arsenal, to really have to sit down. And I think that's why I think Bellew keeps saying it's going to be a war, because Bellew knows he's going to crack him and force him to have to, bring out a heavy artillery. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You got an official pick?
I'm gonna take Usyk in a close decision, in a great fight. Close decision. I just gotta give it to him because I can't see Bellew knocking him out. And Bellew's gonna be picking his spots really well, but Usyk's activity, constantly throwing punches, he doesn't get tired. I think that'll do enough to win him a decision, because he'll just work.
Stacey, clearly you're going with Usyk, right?
Yeah, pretty close decision, but I got him. I'm betting on the over, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not that versed on either guy. I mean, I'm not a decision. I haven't really seen Usyk fight. I've seen a few Bellew fights, so I'm just going to be honest and say that I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Well, the good news, if you spent $10, $9.99 for DAZN, is that you'll get a chance to see Tony Bellew and Usyk fight this weekend. I think that's what I'm most excited about, is that I actually get to watch that fight and don't have to hunt for some crappy stream that somebody is posting of it. So shout out to DAZN for giving us an opportunity to check that out. But yeah, so anyway, we can move on to the final topic. Sean, looks like we'll still have you here, and
yes, sir.
You'll be able to put your input in. But obviously, Floyd Mayweather announced his return and then called it off in a matter of a couple of days. So yeah, he was supposed to fight Tenshin Nasukawa at Rizin 14 in what was supposed to be a exhibition bout, and something happened and he called that off. Were you guys, and actually we can start with you, Stacey, were you surprised to hear that Floyd was thinking about doing this exhibition, or did it not come to a surprise to you?
It was a surprise to me when some seen it. I was like, "What is this?" I didn't know what was going on. It seemed like he didn't know what was going on, actually. I don't know. That was crazy. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
I was thinking Pacquiao. I was not him.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I kind of figured that he was going to be doing some kind of exhibition or something. I mean, I know he did a video on, after all that Pacquiao stuff went down and he got back over to the United States, I think TMZ caught him, and he basically hinted that, Tokyo, I'm going to be coming back for an event. So right there in that video, I was like, something's up. Something's going on. So I wasn't really surprised at the announcement of him doing an exhibition. What surprised me was that this announcement was part of Rizin and what they do, because from what I knew, like that's a legit mixed martial arts organization, and they do like legit fights and stuff like that.
That's what I was thinking. Like I thought of something of an exhibition, something like that wouldn't have shot me, but it didn't seem like that. When I seen it, it would look like a fight, like a big time fight. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is this an exhibition or is this a fight? Like I didn't know the difference.
Well, I don't think anyone knew the difference when they talked about putting it together. I think that's part of the problem, and I think that's the reason why, you know, Floyd basically put a kibosh to this. I don't know if you guys saw, but Fighthype was able to obtain a copy of the proposal that was actually given to Floyd after the press conference took place, and I think that's kind of when things went sour, because I think when Floyd showed up to the press conference, and he even kind of commented to this in his Instagram post when he put that lengthy apology out there, or that lengthy explanation. I think when he went over there for the press conference, he was under the assumption that this was just going to be an exhibition. I don't know who pitched it to him, but whoever pitched it to him basically kind of told him, yo, we can go get this bag for this 3-round exhibition that they want us to do in front of these millionaires or these billionaires or these wealthy people. So I think when Floyd heard that, I think he was like, okay, cool, let's hop on the jet, let's fly over there, let's do the press conference, let's knock it out. But when he got there and realized this was this big thing, and there was this big company, Rizin, and they have this big, huge event, and all these reporters are there, and they're grilling him with all these questions and whatnot. And then after it was over, they put the proposal in front of him, and they're talking about U.S. distribution rights and all this other stuff. I think that's when Floyd was kind of like, I think that's when he kind of pumped the brakes on everything and said, yo, hold up. This isn't what was presented to me, and this isn't what I signed up for. And I think more than anything, what really probably bothered him was the fact that this company, Rizin, in their attempt to go out and get U.S. distribution rights for this event, they basically were trying to piggyback off of Floyd's name and say, yeah, if you guys are going to put in an offer for U.S. distribution rights, we need a multi-fight deal with you. Or, no, I'm sorry, not a multi-fight, a multi-year deal with you. Basically, Rizin was saying to whoever the U.S. broadcaster was going to be, hey, you need to sign us, the company, Rizin, to a multi-year contract, you know, if you want to get a piece of this event. And also Floyd's going to do 2 other fights, which to my understanding, Floyd was like, nah, I never agreed to any of that. So, you know, I think that, I don't know if it was a language barrier. I don't know if the people who were putting this together just totally fucked it up. I'm not exactly sure where the communication went wrong, but clearly there was some bad communication, and that's kind of what put the kibosh on everything. But me personally, I don't know. I don't know if glad is the word. I'm not sure if that's the word I want to use. Because at the end of the day, any Floyd Mayweather event is huge, and I'm gonna be there because they are fun. Even his birthday. Yo, I went to his 40th birthday. Stacy, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was crazy. How many people performed? Bobby Brown. How many people performed? There were so many people there.
The place out, man.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, everybody, like, almost.
About 10, 15 different acts. I don't know. It was.
Listen. That was just the acts that were supposed to be there. There were artists that were there that just jumped up on the mic just because.
I have to second that, man. His events are lit. Floyd events are lit.
All of them. I mean, even when you go to fights in Las Vegas right now, like, you can tell the difference. Like, me personally, I have not been to a fight in Las Vegas that has had the same kind of energy and the same kind of hype that Floyd, and I'm not talking about Conor McGregor. I'm not talking about that fight. I'm not even really talking about the Pacquiao fight. I'm talking about fights before Shane Mosley, you know, like Like just all those old fights that Floyd would have at the MGM Grand. I mean, the energy and the magnitude of those events were just very, 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 very different than fights now today. And I haven't seen, or I haven't been to any fights that carry that same energy. I mean, I guess, what would you say is the next closest one to that right now? Canelo fights, Sean? Would you say Canelo fights?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of money and and number of people showing up.
But do they have the same energy, the same atmosphere?
No. I mean, Floyd attracts more of that Hollywood glamorous, the kind of crowd you'd see, back in the day that'd be at like a Showtime Magic Johnson game. Like he brings out the biggest and the brightest stars.
Yeah, go back to Mike Tyson time.
Like Mike Tyson. Yeah, exactly.
Go back to Mike Tyson time.
And you were around in the Mike Tyson era, right, Ben?
Fuck you. You guys are all taking shots at my age. Yes, I was around for the Mike Tyson era. Yes.
No, that's definitely would look like. I mean, I wasn't quite when Tyson was in his prime, but that looks exactly like the type of, not as scary, but the kind of excitement that Floyd generated was probably like Tyson. And no, Canelo's more of and Joshua too. I think they attract more of a soccer crowd. Viva, you know what I mean? Floyd attracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Floyd attracted that highbrow A-list, the A-list of the sports world, the A-list of the entertainment world, probably the underworld too. When he fought, that was the spot to be at, not just at the fight, but I imagine after the fight. I imagine the after parties of a Floyd Mayweather fight are pretty epic too. So
right. Hold on. Somebody just asked a question. James Brushwood, what you need? He was informed by Brent Johnson. Yes, Brent Johnson of One Entertainment. That's who was working on this Rizin deal. Brent Johnson, One Entertainment. I don't know if it's something that Brent might have been under the exact same assumption that this was something different. This was something that he wasn't expecting. I don't know if it was Rizin who tried to throw. I will say this from the proposal that I saw, it looked clear to me that it was Rizin who was trying to get a little bit more than what they should be getting. I mean, it looked to me like they were the ones that were asking for the multi-year contract with the U.S. broadcaster for the event. They were the ones that were wanting that. I mean, that's not something that like Floyd don't need no multi-year broadcast deal. Like he don't need that. I mean, this was supposed to be a one-off event. So what would be the point? So I would say I don't know, just from the way it seems to me, it seems like Floyd and his side went over there with one expectation and Rizin had another expectation. And then when it came time to put those two expectations together, they just could not get on the same page. And they were not going to get on the same page because Floyd is like, Floyd is sharp. Floyd knows all about the business. He knows all about U.S. broadcast rights, international rights. Like, you're not going to slide anything over on him when it comes to that because, he's the king of pay-per-view. I mean, he's been doing these pay-per-views for a very, very long time. So,
but does this mean like he's coming back for sure though, or is there any chance? Do you
expect him to sign another fight or to announce it?
From what I was told and from my understanding, this was a one-off exhibition. It was an opportunity to go get a very, very, very big bag for 9 minutes of easy work. I mean, I'm not even talking like what's an easier word than easy? For 9 minutes worth of sleepwalking basically. I mean, he wasn't even really, this wasn't a real fight or anything like that. So if they were going to pay him, I don't know what the numbers were, but I think some site post some news outlet in Tokyo posted something that said upwards of 80 some million, basically almost $100 million for 9 minutes of work. If somebody called me up and said, yo, we got an opportunity to fly out to Japan to make $100 million for 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, I'd have been like, yo, let's go. I'm on my way. Let's get that money. And
but
I think that's kind of what happened. Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember now that we're talking about it, you guys will remember when Ali was supposed to have an exhibition with a wrestler in Japan. And I guess what happened was Ali, it was all told to him it was an exhibition. Then when he got in there, that dude was really throwing leg kicks and like really wanted Inoki really wanted to fight Ali. So that Floyd kind of avoided a similar situation maybe.
Right.
But it shows that they try to pull a fast one on these American fighters coming to Japan, you know.
Right. And I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna put all the blame on Rizin. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna I won't say they were trying to pull a fast one or trying to be sneaky or anything. Like they may have legit had that expectation. Like they may have thought Floyd was coming over for that. And there just might have been a breakdown in communication and stuff like that. I mean, it's it's just hard. It's just hard when you have, when you're trying to do business and you got two different sides that speak two different languages and they both have two different expectations, to do that. Do you think Al Heyman would have agreed to it or liked the idea? I don't know.
Whatever happened to him rematching Pacquiao? I thought that was the whole point of Pacquiao signing to PBC.
Well, I wouldn't say that was the whole point of Pacquiao signing to PBC. I think maybe in Manny Pacquiao's mind.
Broner get into the discussion. I thought that was a Floyd.
Are they trying to bait and switch? Hey, you thought you were going to get Floyd, but actually we want you to fight Spence.
Well, wow, that'd be fucked up. Well, let me introduce you to this other brother that you're going to be fighting, Errol Spence. Yeah. Wow. Listen, I think Manny Pacquiao has every expectation of getting a rematch with Floyd. He says it. Every interview he does. I have belt. I want rematch. Like every interview he does, he wants that rematch with Floyd. And
Pacquiao's Russian now.
If I'm sorry, that was a terrible Filipino accent, is what you're telling me. Not only am I old, but I can't do a Filipino accent. My bad. But no, I think Manny Pacquiao probably understands in order for me to get Floyd, I got to get with Al. So I think that's what he did. And, But
Al got him for 2 fights, right?
Al got him for 2 fights.
So it'd be curious if he was like, hey, Manny, turns out Floyd's actually going to stay retired, but I do have Errol Spence.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. That could very well happen. Like Floyd, there is no guarantee.
If Manny turned down Crawford, he's not fighting Spence.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Well, listen, there's no guarantee that Floyd Mayweather ever fights again. He'll be the first one to tell you, you never know what the future may hold. He'll be the first one to tell you that. And there's no way that Al can make any promises or do any kind of business with anyone and say that, yes, you're going to get Floyd Mayweather, because like I said, I mean, the man is retired and for all intents and purposes, he has no reason to fight again. But that doesn't mean that, maybe his plans will change. Maybe he will. I mean, I know he went out to Japan. He did the video. He said, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. He said he's coming back for Pacquiao. And then 2 weeks later, he's on TMZ saying, fuck Pacquiao. Ain't nobody thinking about him. But that's how Floyd is. Like one day he's like, yeah, I'm doing it. And the next day he's like, nah, fuck that. That's how everybody is, though. That's how I am. If you ask me to hey, let's go see this movie tomorrow. Okay, cool. Let's go see it. And then tomorrow I might wake up and be like, damn, I don't feel like doing shit today. I'm tired. I'm just chilling. I'm sitting at home. I ain't doing nothing. Like, that's just being a human.
Especially when you have money.
Especially when you have money. Especially when you don't have to do something. And Floyd does not have to fight. So, is he coming back? Definitely. I don't know about that. But it does, the fact that Al has Manny Pacquiao, the fact that Manny Pacquiao is supposed to fight Adrian Broner, we don't know if that's legit. We don't know if that
saw him in training. I think they posted a clip of him training yesterday.
Pacquiao?
Or today.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And he was looking good. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw a clip of Adrian Broner training too.
Right.
He looked like he got to get a little bit of weight off. You know, had a little bit of a gut on him, but you know, he's training. So the fact that it looks like that fight is gonna happen, you know, it's very easy to think that, you know, this looks like a setup for Mayweather Pacquiao too. And it very well could be, and we just don't know. But you know, it's just hard to predict just because you don't know. You know, you don't know what Floyd wants to do. You know, that's all going to be dependent upon Floyd. But having said that, according to Floyd, he's the one that said Pacquiao gonna fight Adrian Broner. He's the one that told Al to do that fight. So that is kind of interesting to see. Why I gotta look like, somebody said I look like a turtle. I look like a turtle. Somebody said, Stacy, you look like Kevin Durant's uncle. And they said, Sean, you look like Ashton Kutcher. I would love to be a real person and not a fucking turtle. Why I gotta be a turtle? That's fucked up.
Somebody
You're gonna leave me out, man? Who I look like?
Yeah, they didn't say who you look like.
I'm somebody's uncle, man. I'm Kevin Durant's uncle. I'm proud of it, man. That is, he right too.
Why I gotta look like a turtle? Hold on, what did they say? You guys keep dissing legends like Pac-Man. It's disgusting.
Oh, Pacquiao, one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. Come on now.
How we diss Pacquiao?
One of the greatest fighters ever, man.
Come on.
Manny, man.
Explain to please do thingsology, whatever your name is. Please explain to us how we are disrespecting Manny Pacquiao. I don't think we've said anything about Pacquiao.
I think
one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen.
That somehow you work for Floyd. You wanna touch a little bit on your relationship with Floyd or Fighthype's relationship with Floyd Mayweather?
Man, listen. I ain't never got no check from Floyd Mayweather or Mayweather Promotions, and to be honest, if they offered me a check, I might take the motherfucker. Like, you know, times are hard in the hood. You know, I mean, I take money where you can get it, but I'm just cool with Floyd. I'm cool with Floyd the same way I'm cool with Andre Ward, the same way I'm cool with a lot of fighters, and there's some fighters I'm not cool. Actually, there's no fighters that I have a problem with, but there are some fighters that don't like me. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, just like there are people you like, there are people that you get along with, and there are people that you don't get along with. I'm just cool with Floyd. I've known Floyd for a very, very long time. I've covered his fights for a very, very long time. When you're around people for a long time, you know, you build relationships that way. You know, I mean, I'm cool with Stacy. Stacy went, man, I remember, well, actually, the first time I met you, Stacy, was actually here in Ohio, Cincinnati, when you were, when Floyd came out. Huh?
That was when Broner fought that fight, and he said,
yep.
Like he's gonna get married, and he said, brush my hair.
Yep. That's the.
Who was that he fought?
I forget. I think it was like Eloy Perez or somebody like that. I think he won a title that night. But I think that was the first time. I think that's the first time Floyd actually saw Adrian Broner fight live. That was the first time I met Stacy, and God, I can't even. That might have been 2011 or something like that. And then I didn't see Stacy again until when? Where did I see you again, Stacy? Florida. We were in Florida, right?
No, I think that was Vegas because Floyd. I came down to Vegas. The beginning of the Maidana one.
Yeah, but I don't think that counts because I don't like. We didn't really chop it up or talk or anything like that. I think the first time I really talked to you was in Florida when we were at one of Floyd's places. That when Floyd was moving out of that spot. I think that was the first time I really sat and talked to you, and we kicked it, and we cool like just like now, like we cool, like you on the show, we cool, we talk all the time. You know, so it's just like my relationship with Floyd is no different than my relationship with Stacey. It's no different than my relationship with Sean Rockman. Like if I meet you and I'm cool with you, then we're cool. Period. You know. But
and Ben, and also I think from getting into the business a little more, I learned too that it's weird how you get this rap of being cool with Floyd because all your favorite writers, or if they're not your favorite writers, from you name it, ESPN, wherever, they have dinner with fighters. Right. They have dinner with promoters. Right. They talk on the phone with these guys. They have tons of friends. So, I mean, if you believe that they're able to put aside that and be objective, then why not believe Ben, who really is just cool with me? You might even be personable with less fighters than they are.
Right.
But there's this perception that the writers at other places like ESPN or that they don't do that they don't commiserate, they don't fraternize with fighters, and that's just not true.
It's an unfactual truth. I'll give you another example. Somebody actually, one of our writers, Paul Magno, he does a mailbag, so he gets emails from fans and he answers their emails. One fan wrote into him, oh, Floyd hype, you guys are all over his dick trying to sell us this bullshit fight about, Floyd fighting this Japanese kickboxer. You guys are selling it down our throats. It's a crap fight. I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. We posted a total of 2 stories about that fight. One was a press release from Rizin announcing it. So that's not even a story. That's just a press release. And the other story was basically me saying the fight's off. Like, that's it. So we announced it was happening through the press release, and then we announced it was off. Those are the only 2 stories. Meanwhile, our friends over at BoxingScene.com, I think they wrote in upwards of 20 different stories from the moment that fight was announced. 20 stories, all kinds of quotes from Floyd and Nasukawa, and just all kinds of stories about it. 20 different stories compared to just 2. But we're the ones that are Floyd hype. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the sound of it. Floyd hype. That's if you want to associate us with the biggest name in the sport, I'm okay with that. In fact, when fans started calling us that, I liked it so much, I went out and bought the URL. I bought the domain name, FloydHype.com, and redirected it to Fight Hype. So if you go type in FloydHype.com right now, guess what's going to come up? Fight Hype. But the only reason why is because I'm the one that did that. I liked it. It was cool. So, yeah, I bought it.
Wow, that's dope.
It doesn't bother me. But guess what? We're also Andre Ward hype. We're also Tony Bellew hype. We're
Haney
also
hype.
Deontay Wilder hype. Devin Haney hype. Teofimo Lopez hype. Canelo
we were Jose
hype.
Benavidez hype heading into the Crawford fight.
I don't care who it is. If you are a fighter, if you are fighting, I'm going to cover you. I don't discriminate. You can call us Pacquiao hype. If Manny Pacquiao called me up and said, yo, Ben, like, I want you to come out to the Philippines and get some exclusive. Man, I am on a flight. I'm there. I am there. I'm flying to Triple G. Hey, no, we Golovkin hype too. I love Triple G. This is what we do. Like, I ain't got no problem. I personally, Ben Thompson, I do not have any problems with any fighters. Now, again, there's some fighters that have a problem with me. But it's not because of anything that, like I didn't do nothing to them. I didn't, even Tank's problem. Tank might be the only one that can legitimately say, man, fuck Fight Hype. I'll give him a pass. Like, he can say that because I did write an article that pointed out some discretions with his, career, so to speak. But again, it was nothing personal in that article, and he wasn't even the main topic of that article. He was just one of 3 examples that I used when I wrote the article. So if Tank is upset at all of Fight Hype because Ben Thompson wrote one article that is like 4 or 5 years old that probably, 500 people saw tops, I mean, clearly it didn't hurt his career, and nor was the article even written to hurt his career. I mean, the article was just like, yo, look what some of these guys are fucking up. Like, that's all the article said. And, it is what it is. But I will say that Tank is probably the only one that has a legitimate reason to be like, fuck Fight Hype. But I think even that's kind of, it's kind of childish. If you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at Ben Thompson. There's no need to be mad at Sean. There's no need to be mad at anybody else that works at Fight Hype, because we still cover your fights. We still speak highly of your talent. No one's dogging you or anything like that. And yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, Tank's the only one that can feel like that. Some of these other motherfuckers that don't fuck with Ben Thompson anymore, like Amir Khan. Yeah, Amir Khan. Yes, Hold on, let me look in the camera. Amir Khan. Yeah, you got like you tripping. You tripping, Amir Khan. If you mad at Ben Thompson because I did an interview with Phil LaGreco, like really, seriously? I mean, that's corny to me. That's really corny, and it just kind of shows you, it just shows you the character of certain fighters, like that's pretty much all I'll say about it. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the main, Floyd don't own Fighthype, period, end of story. But Floyd is very friendly with Fighthype, and Fighthype is very friendly with him, so we good.
Yeah, Robert Hayes says he wants us to talk about Wilder again.
What else is there to talk about, Robert? I mean, like, Wilder is a big puncher.
Straight down the pipe.
Coming straight down the pipe.
Hey, Stacey, you talked about it, though. It's weird how he'll have one combination where it's beautiful and sharp and down the middle, and then the next, not so much. It's weird how he gives you glimpses of the right stuff, but it's not 3 minutes of every round.
How are we fanboys of Floyd? I don't like. What are you talking? I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, we're not even talking about Floyd.
I know. I was just reading someone in the chat. West Philly.
All right.
Rockman, you better tell your Philly fans. You better get on them. You better get on them. He in your neck of the woods. You better get on them.
I'm gonna get on my phone, guys. I'm gonna get in my phone and stay on this.
Oh, you staying on? Sean's staying on. Sean got to go mobile, but he's staying on. Yeah, I don't listen. If me telling factual information about a fighter is me being a fanboy, then then I'm a fanboy. But I don't think that, I'm not kissing any fighter's ass. I'm not begging them for interviews. I'm not doing anything crazy. The only difference between me and someone else is that I may be the person that Floyd chooses to call if he has something to say, if he wants to do an interview. I'm the one that he chooses to call to do the interview. So that makes me a fanboy. I don't think so. If he wants to do an interview, what am I going to do? Say no?
And not to mention all your favorite reporters or whoever you guys think out there that's so non-biased. If Floyd gave them the ring and said, "Hey, come out and cover me," they would. They would fly out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
I mean,
I'm not seeing it. I don't push Floyd's agenda, whatever West Philly you may think that agenda is. I don't push his agenda. If Floyd wants to shit on somebody, and I've done this in the past when Floyd shit on Andre Ward and had some nasty comments for Andre Ward and his trainer Virgil Hunter. I didn't push I let him say what he wanted to say, and he said it. And I spoke to Andre Ward, and Andre Ward responded and said what he wanted to say. Virgil Hunter responded and said what he wanted to say. And that's it. I didn't push either side's agenda. I let them say what they want to say. And I still have a relationship with them. And really, that's the end of the story. I mean, I literally try and stay out of situations like that. It's the same thing with, I guarantee that if Fighthype did an honest but negative story on Floyd, he would cut ties with him. That's not true. We've done negative stories on Floyd. When he gets arrested, when he got arrested back in the day, when he had to go to jail. We've written all those stories. That's not true at all. We've done stories like that. So I don't you need to do your research and go check our archives and see. We cover Floyd just like we cover every fighter, every single fighter. So, you really got to do some research before you make statements like that. But like I said, I don't, when Floyd wanted to shit on Adrian Broner in an interview, he did. It went up. I contacted Adrian Broner, let him know, asked if he wanted to respond. He did. It went up. We treat everyone the same. It's just, for whatever reason, some fighters prefer to talk to others more than someone else. Andre Ward or Floyd Mayweather may prefer to speak to me, and Mikey Garcia prefers to speak to somebody else, and everybody has their people that they like talking to. I mean, that's just it is what it is. Yeah, Floyd didn't kill boxing, but he definitely hurt it. Stop being Floyd's fanboys. Not Fighthype, y'all in the comments. I don't I don't even see how. I mean, we could save that subject for another day, but I don't see how Floyd killed boxing. Boxing is bigger now than it's ever been. We've got more boxing on now than we've had in a very, very long time on multiple platforms: ESPN, Showtime, DAZN. I mean, it's all over the place. We get more.
Let me tell them something. This is the exact reason people don't respond, because I just love it. One of this. They don't even believe that, man, because if they watch you talk about all boxing, so that don't even make sense what they saying.
Nah, it's not. Charlo shit on Floyd. Yeah, Charlo did shit on Floyd, and when he shit on Floyd, we posted it. We posted it. Like, you guys are making it sound like we're protecting. Oh my gosh, Floyd's gonna be upset if he sees Adrian Broner attacking him. Like, Floyd don't care about that shit, man. Like, y'all really read into stuff like way more than it is, man. Like, a lot of these fighters, they like the fans take it more to heart than the fighters do. So that's just not something that bothers us, and it's not something. Like I said, I've covered everyone exactly the same. I covered Floyd Mayweather the exact same way that I cover Manny Pacquiao, the exact same way. The only difference is that I was telling Floyd's truth. So when Bob Arum was running around for 5 years saying Floyd's scared, he doesn't want to fight him. He's scared of him. He's scared of the left hand of Manny Pacquiao. Like, all I did was do interviews with Floyd saying the opposite. No, it's not true, Ben. That's not true at all. You know, I'm not scared of him. All I want him to do is to take the test, this, that, and the other. I let him say his piece. He said his piece. That's not me being a fanboy. That's just me letting whoever I'm talking to say their piece. That's the whole reason why I started Fighthype.com, was to give fighters a platform to speak on. And you have to keep in mind, this was before things like social media existed, Twitter and you know, Instagram. I don't even think YouTube didn't even exist when I started Fighthype.com. You know, so again, like, you guys really have to do your research. West Philly said, what? I've been following you guys for years. Following you guys, and you're not being honest. Floyd's the type of guy that wants loyalty, and if you're not on his side, he will cut you off. Well, I mean, I think everybody wants loyalty. I mean, shit, the people that work for Fighthype, I want loyalty. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't want fucking Rockman doing a show with me, and then, you know, tomorrow he doing another show with a competitor. Like, that's like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna be happy about that. I don't think Floyd is looking for loyalty from me or anything like that. Like, that's, I don't know. That's not true. No one's saying you want to play a boxer being critical of Floyd. You won't play it. I'm saying you won't do an honest but critical story on Floyd. Well, I don't. What? Okay.
We need to stop giving this dude life.
I know. I'm just having fun. I know. I'm having fun though. I love talking about this stuff. I'm having fun with it. Again, I don't. It depends on your definition of an honest and critical story. Like, you have a certain opinion about Floyd, West Philly. You have your opinion about Floyd is probably based on other people's opinions about Floyd, that, you know, that they've written stories about him and stuff like that. I know things about Floyd. I have had conversations about Floyd that others have not. Didn't one of your boys what with them? I'm not understanding what you're saying. Get off me, son. You have to. That wasn't a complete sentence.
I think he's asking it, you know, about.
Yeah. I don't. Anybody that has worked for Fighthype, if you saw them someplace else, they weren't working with Fighthype anymore. That's the best answer I could give. And honestly, I've never. There's only been one person that I had to legitimately get rid of at Fighthype, and that's because he was doing some. He basically was putting in fake credentials. He was putting in for fake credentials, and I believe that's the guy that you're talking about. Get off me, son! And that's the reason why he wasn't working with us anymore, is because he was jeopardizing my brand, so he had to go. But anyway, getting back to the whole critical, honest story. Again, it depends on what you know and what you don't know. And I have written honest stories about Floyd Mayweather. Now, whether or not you people believe they're true, because there's a whole other wing, there's a whole other army of people writing opposite stuff, I can't control that. But from my understanding, this is how I saw the situation. I'll give you an example. When Floyd, and Stacey, you might be able to speak to this because you might have been there or you might have knowledge of it, but I'll give you an example. When Floyd was in Miami and ran into Manny Pacquiao, Ben, how long Rainbow been working for you? I don't know, maybe a couple months now. It hasn't been long. But anyway, when Floyd went down to Miami and ran into Manny Pacquiao at that basketball event, immediately after that was over, you know, everybody saw the photos, they saw the video of them two, you know, they met like courtside or something like that, and we're talking and this, that, and the other. Immediately after that happened, I got on the phone, made a couple phone calls, talked to some people that were there in attendance, you know, spoke to my sources, got the lowdown on what happened, and then I wrote a story about it. And I basically said, yo, I mean, this is a paraphrase, but basically my story said, yo, Floyd stepped to Manny and checked him about saying that he was scared to fight him. He checked him. He like got in his face. He checked him and confronted him and said, yo, if you want to make this fight happen, you need to call me, this, that, and the other. Quit telling lies. Stop telling lies. Like, that's what my story was about. You know, like Floyd checked Manny and he checked his manager, Michael Kahns. Now, that's the story I wrote. Everybody else's story was, oh, it was a cordial meeting. They got together for a friendly conversation. It was arranged by Michael Kahns, blah, 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 all this other stuff. So when everybody else wrote their stories, but Ben Thompson had a story saying that Floyd was the one that stepped to Manny and said, stop lying, quit telling lies about me, they said I was crazy. Yo, Ben, oh, this guy's a Floyd fanboy. He's kissing his ass. He's making him look tough, blah, 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 all this crazy shit. Well, lo and behold, after the fight got signed and everything was said and done, Floyd finally did an interview. Well, he didn't even do an interview. He was at a press event, and a bunch of media were around him asking him about that particular day and what had happened. Yo, Floyd basically regurgitated my entire story. He basically said, yo, I stepped to him, I checked him, I told him stop lying about this, stop lying about that, this, that, and the other. So, who was right? Who wrote the right story? I mean, it sounds like my story was, I mean, at least my story is the one that gelled up with Floyd's story. So, I'm the bad guy? Like, again, the point being is it all depends on your perception. It all depends on the information that you're given. And the information that I get is a little bit different than information that other people get. You know, same thing with Andre Ward. You know, some people, you know, that back when Andre was still fighting, some people would write certain things about Andre Ward that wasn't true. But then Ben Thompson would write something that was counter to what they wrote, and I'd be the one that wasn't telling the truth. Yet everybody knows I'm the one that talks to Andre Ward. The same thing with Floyd. If you know Ben Thompson talks to Floyd Mayweather, then why wouldn't you believe what Ben Thompson is saying about Floyd Mayweather? Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, long story short is you know, you really have to quit. You really have to, like, don't focus so much on us. I really don't think, out of all the years that I've been running Fighthype, I don't think there's anything that I've printed that has not been factual and has not always given the fighter side of the story. Always. And that's just the way that we've always operated, and that's the way we'll always continue to operate, and that's the reason why we have good relationships in this sport, outside of Amir Khan and Tank. So it is what it is. But I didn't mean to get into that. Rockman, you made me talk about stuff that I really wasn't wanting to talk about yet. I told you that's got to be a different show. We got to do that on an entirely different show, because there's a lot of shit that we can put out there and talk about. And we will do that. I want to talk about the whole situation with Amir Khan a little bit more, because my feelings are hurt a little bit, Amir. I really don't understand why you don't want to talk to me, man. You know you wrong. You know you wrong, Amir. You know you wrong about that. Swallow your pride and give me a call, bro. Swallow your pride. And Tank, I mean, you can talk to us or not. I mean, it is what it is. I ain't got no problem with you though, Tank. I'm still gonna cover your fights. I think you're still a talented fighter. I even think that you'll beat Abner Maris just because I think Abner Maris is a little bit too small. You know, so yeah. Let's we rolling into 2019. Let's chill with the hate. Let's chill with the hate. Everybody's doing okay. We all living our best life. Ain't got no time to go back and forth with y'all niggas. Oh man. So, but yeah, it's all good. What else? Do we got anything else we got to touch on? I see Sean is mobile. Sean, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to pick my girl up, man.
Oh, okay.
From work.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what's up. You going to pick your girl up?
Yep.
Fucking Rockman's. Well, we ain't even gonna speak about that, Rockman. I don't know if we can put that news out there yet. I don't want to be salting your game.
You know what I'm doing? I'm smoking my crack.
You smoking a new bowl? You smoking your crack? Kevin Durant's uncle smoking his crack.
Yeah, I don't know if we just a little note, you know, since the fight's tomorrow. I don't know if we mentioned it, but Usyk, he's a little bit of a quirky character, isn't he?
He's funny
with that gap tooth, the goofiness, and he's a little. I was saying this on Twitter the other day. I said boxing produces real characters with real quirks. You know, not that same tried and true personality that you get in basketball, hockey, and football. You know, boxing produces real, you know, characters with real quirks, and Usyk's an example of that.
Well, that's why we love it. That's why we like boxing. It's a thing. It's like Eddie Hearn talks about it all the time. How everybody's a character in this play called boxing. You know, we're all characters. I'm a character. You're a character. Kevin Durant's uncle is a character. You know, we're all characters, and that's what makes this just a little crack. That's what makes this sport so fun and so entertaining. And trust and believe, I've run into a lot of characters in this sport, and I have a lot of stories, a lot of crazy stories that most people probably wouldn't even believe. But
Wilder and Fury are a couple characters, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
They got.
For sure. So
we got.
So yeah, but yeah, no, I mean that's I don't really have anything else I got to touch on. Rockman, I see you're asking if anybody's got any questions. If y'all got any questions, throw them out there. Otherwise, we gonna wrap up here pretty soon because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, come on, chat. Light it up, chat. Give us something to close with.
Give us something to close with, because we one of these days we're gonna do a show where we just take questions from the chat room. That's it.
I see Miller staying busy on the zone, man.
Who is?
The Big Baby.
Big Baby fighting in just what, like a week, right?
Yeah, man. He bullshitting, man. Getting to it, man.
Yeah, he fighting next weekend already. Yeah, that's a good look. As Eddie Hearn would say, he's keeping his fighters active.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good look. But yeah.
Did he say Jared Hurd?
Hey, when is that Rosado fight? Rosado in Cuba.
1 second.
Ooh.
1 second. That's
17th, right?
That's the same
like
day.
In 2 weeks, right?
That's the same day.
Sean, who you got on that one?
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Sean, did you hear? Oh, I think we lost Sean. Sean, can you hear?
Okay. Who you got on that one? You glad about that?
Hold on, Janice. I'm doing a show.
Yeah, he gone.
Sean, we can't hear you.
What happened? What'd you say? What happened?
Oh, Stacy asked you.
What's up, Stacy? I'm sorry, man.
And Cuba, who you think who you pick on that one?
Man, I want to say Rosado, man, but he's taken some beatings in his career, man. You got to wonder. There's a lot of tread on those tires. I want to say Rosado, but that's what gives me pause, man. That's what gives me pause. Is those tread on those tires.
Yeah.
They were talking a lot of shit though. It had me excited to watch.
Man, ain't they?
Yeah, I mean, Cuba. I think Cuba's a little bigger too. Like, I think he fought as high as 68. Rosado's a junior middleweight coming up, so I don't know. But I'm gonna give a slight edge to Rosado. But I am worried about the wear and tear.
Oh, he definitely got the wear and tear. He don't care, man. He a different type of motherfucker.
Yeah, man. He's got. I mean, he's one of the guys that shows you how tough the sport really is. Because you look at a guy like that who really can box, who really does got tricks up his sleeve, and he still can't get his hands on a title. So that shows you how tough it is at the top, man. So.
Is he fighting at what, 160 right now, right?
Yep.
Craziest boxing story from each in the past few years, or favorite all-time classic fight. I don't know. I can't even tell you my craziest boxing stories. Someone will be coming from
I got a
my
good
neck.
one real quick.
What's that?
I got a few, but one I like. Okay, so Bob Arum, I'm in the media room. Ben might have actually been in the same area that day, but I'm in the media room for Pacquiao and Marquez's fourth fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is either after the weigh-in or after the final presser. So someone brings up to Bob Arum, I think it was Tim Smith, brings up to Bob Arum. He goes, "Hey, did you hear about, it was either Wilder or USADA, did you hear that they banned Morales, right? They banned Eric Morales in the Danny Garcia rematch because he tested positive for performance enhancers." So Bob goes, because they were saying, Tim goes, "Well, Bob, they're starting to think of making every big fight in the U.S. sanctioned by USADA or VADA. Would you be all right with that?" And he said, "Fuck that. If they do that for a fight like this, I'll take the fucking fight to Mexico." And what Bob was really, Bob was really kind of saying was, my guys are dirty. You know, why?
Wow.
And so here I am, this kid, I'm like 20, 21 years old, and I'm looking around at everybody in press row, and everyone's laughing it up with Bob. I'm like, he just spilled the beans that they're probably on some shit.
Wow.
Didn't matter.
That's funny. That's funny.
I mean, he's like, "Fuck it, I'll take the fight in Mexico if they do drug testing." I'm like, wow, that's kind of blatant.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's with all the hate towards DAZN and Eddie Hearn? I don't know. Is there hate? Do you guys think there's hate?
He's just talking. Ain't nobody said nothing about DAZN. He just in his own mind, man.
Or is he asking in general? He might be asking in general, like.
Actually, man, I don't know if you just got here. You actually told people the price and everything. They kind of got some free promotion.
Yeah.
Eddie
Hearn. Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all mess with the zone.
Well, Eddie's
talking about the fight that's gonna be on the zone. Ain't the Bellew fight on the zone, right?
Yep.
The price we're talking about is on the zone, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. That's on the zone. So.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. I just wanted to jump in real quick and talk about this Usyk fight. Stacy dying over there, huh? What'd you say?
You be passed by the strip. I seen you by the strip.
Yeah.
A place I hate to see, man.
The strip? You hate the strip?
Man, I don't like riding over there when you live here. He don't either. Nobody do.
Why?
Oh, the traffic.
It's a bunch of bullshit, man.
I don't like riding on the strip.
You spend 25 minutes by the strip, man, just picking somebody up on the strip, just dealing with traffic. 25 minutes.
No, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. But yeah, that's why the Mayweather canceled this fight. I already told you why, Jesus. I already told you why. You have to go rewind. Is there hate towards DAZN? Yeah, nothing. Oh, okay, hold on. I want to.
I like the zone, man.
Well, Eddie's stepping on toes.
It's in my phone.
Oh,
man.
hold on. I want to.
Where y'all watch the fight now? I don't care where y'all at. Y'all put them on and watch it.
Nino said.
The cheaper the better.
Nino said it's not hate from us. It's hate from LDBC. What do you guys know? What is the LDBC?
Oh,
Lions.
What is that? Do with the
Lions Den boxing community.
What is it?
Who?
Oh shit! I'm breaking up at the worst time.
Oh, you are breaking up at the worst time.
It's called the Lions Den Boxing Community.
What is that though? No disrespect. I don't know what that is. Like, what is that?
I heard them before, but I didn't know they was the Lions Den Boxing Community.
It's as I understand it, like a YouTube community of boxing fans that mainly support black American fighters. That's supposed to be, as I know it, that's what the LDBC, that's their thing.
Oh,
okay.
And I'm cutting.
Okay.
Damn, well, I'm breaking up.
No, that's cool.
So I think the thought is, Ben, is that Eddie Hearn, being this British white guy promoter, is trying to steal the talent of Al Haymon and all the American fighters who, as we know, are mostly, black Americans. So I think that's the thing. They don't like Eddie Hearn, kind of.
So this is a community of like YouTube channels?
I know it's like a community of boxing fans on social media, YouTube comments, and it's yeah.
So they kind of like they do what we do, like they go live and just talk boxing and talk
it's about... more like they'll be on channels like Ego and Dante and a couple others, 7A Sports, I think, and I know a dude that's worked with you, Corey Ayatoba, and they'll be in like Facebook groups or YouTube communities, and mainly they got the back of black American fighters. Like that's where they put a lot of their support and energy in. I think their main thing is they look out for when they feel there's propaganda against them or double standards against them, or so they're okay.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just didn't know what it. I mean, I just didn't understand what that was. I didn't know that there was a community of people that actually did that. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm all about black pride and everything. That's cool. I mean, they be hating on DAZN though. Like I don't really understand.
DAZN is a TV. Like they trying to do that. You see, like, okay, who on Fox and different channels? I don't get it. Like, where are they supposed to fight at?
Right, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like I don't like. Why would you? I don't understand why you would hate on DAZN.
I'm just saying, like, where do they fight? You got Showtime. Who on these? Like, do it really matter? I just want to see the boxing. I thought it was about the boxing.
Right. Like
I agree. But their idea, I think, is that big publications, Ring, ESPN, they don't like Al Haymon and they slight him in Showtime. They give them less credit for good things, and I think their perception is that their perception is that ESPN, the Ring, they're going to be quicker to give a guy like Eddie Hearn, a white guy from Britain, credit for making fights or signing fighters than they will Al Haymon. I think they perceive that, you know what I mean, that there's always going to be more of a
Showtime and Fox. That's not bad company to keep. With that many fighters, that's like a real great deal. I'm pretty sure, they got going. Like,
no. I
Showtime is not. I know what they're saying, but at this point, I mean, it's business with everybody. Once the contract is signed, I don't think that. Nope.
I think I kind of get what they're trying. I'm guessing that there are, because I kind of know what they're talking about. There are certain, I'll call them factions in the boxing community that do hate on certain people more than other people. Steve Kim is a perfect example. I hate to even say his name, but I guess since he's working for ESPN now, I can say his name, I guess. But Steve Kim is a perfect example. Steve Kim has been a PBC hater from the beginning. Why? I don't know. Steve Kim has also been a Andre Ward hater. Why? I don't know. I can only assume it's because he never got access to him. But I don't know if that's a race thing. I think there's other reasons why. You know, I don't want to play the race card if there's no need to play the race card. And in some instances, yeah, there is hate. But I don't think it has anything to do with, you know, race or anything like that. Someone said Steve Kim is awesome. Steve Kim is awesome. No, he's not. Steve Kim is a turd. I'll be the first to say it, and I don't have a problem saying it because I've known him longer than anybody. And, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just say that because Steve Kim has always hated on me, so I'm just going to hate right back at him. But, you know.
That's how that goes.
That's how that goes, man. You hate on me, I'm going to hate on you. But no, Steve Kim can be a hater sometimes. Dan Rafael can be a hater sometimes. You know, and there sometimes there seems to be a double standard. Like they may talk about Golovkin and give him a pass on something that they might not give.
That's what they're getting at.
Right.
That's what they're getting at.
Right. And
I'm not even saying I feel that way, but that's what they're getting at. They feel guys like Golovkin, Eddie Hearn as a promoter. They think that essentially, like, people resent the fact that the most powerful guy in the sport is a black man, Al Heyman. I think they also felt like there was always an axe to grind against Floyd Mayweather and then Andre Ward. So that's what they're on, and I get what they're saying. I'm not saying I agree with it hook, line, and sinker, but I follow the logic. You know?
Yeah, and I get it. I understand it in some sense, and I think there are some instances where that is the case, and I probably would agree with you know, some stuff that the LDBC, whatever that is saying. But then there's other instances where I think it's just that's not really the case. That's not what's going on here. Hold on, somebody said you guys don't think it's crazy. Oh, that's my friend West Philly again. You guys don't think it's crazy that PBC fighters are fighting once a year? I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. Not all PBC fighters are fighting once a year. I mean, if you look at other promotional companies, they have, like, some of them have fighters that only fight once or twice a year, you know? So it just goes across the board. When you're a promoter or an advisor or a network, when you have X amount of fighters, there's only X amount of dates, and you have to fulfill those dates with all those fighters. So it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Is it crazy that some fighters are only fighting once a year? I mean, yeah, I guess it is a little bit crazy. It's crazy that Adrian Broner only fought one time in 2018. That's a little bit crazy. But at the same time, man, that ain't my business. If Adrian Broner got enough money from that one fight and he's good, then he's good. You know, like, that's on him. You know? That's not my problem, and honestly, I really don't even care how often these fighters. I guess I'm just used to fighters fighting 2 times a year. Like, to me, that's the norm. You know, I don't know very many fighters that were, you know, top fighters, whether they're with PBC or Top Rank or Golden Boy or this company. Most top fighters only fight twice a year. That's it. You know, so until I see somebody else doing something different, like, I haven't seen anybody get someone 4 fights a year. Like, I know Eddie Hearn says I'm gonna keep my fighters active, but I mean, how many times a year does Anthony Joshua fight? Twice.
Golovkin was the last guy to really get close to 4 fights a year.
That's
you know,
it.
Doing this thing with HBO.
Yeah,
that's the only guy in, like, recent memory. You know, but I mean, a guy like Jamal Charlo, you know, he should, when he gets a second round knockout, I mean, he should be fighting sooner than December against Willie Monroe, you know, but it's like you said, everyone's moving slow these days. It's not like any promotional companies are getting their guys 4 fights a year.
I don't think, if we're talking about top fighters, I don't know. Listen, I know everybody's going to, I know to some degree everyone's going to bitch and complain like, oh man, this is bullshit. But at the same time, if you're a top fighter and you're getting top money, that's probably the reason why you're only fighting once or twice a year. If you're a top fighter and you're making $2 or $3 million a fight, well, yeah, you're only going to fight twice. If that. Because you're making a shit ton of money. And we're not going to have you fight 4 times this year, because then we got to pay you a shit ton of money 4 times instead of 2. So, you know, it's a numbers thing. I mean, that's the way I see it. Is it crazy? I guess, but again, I think that is someone else pushing propaganda. That's someone else, you know, blowing something out of proportion that really doesn't need to be blown out of proportion. Is it crazy that Tank only fought once last year? Sure. Yeah. I think it's crazy that Tank only fought once last year, but, you know, if he got paid well for that one fight, then hey, it is what it is. You know, it sounds like he's going to be fighting in January. So it sounds like he might fight 2 or 3 times next year. So if he fought once this year and if he fights 3 times next year, that's 4 fights in the span of 2 years. So who cares? You know, like, I'm not, again, I think it's, as a fighter, I think it's harder to grow and develop if you're not active fighting multiple fights. But you know, that's a tricky balance that you have to establish when you're building a fighter's career when they're first coming up. That's why when you have a fighter, it's very important to get him in those solid tests early in his career, you know, before he gets to 20-0 or 25-0. You know, he needs to develop his skill level, because when they are, you know, that early in their career, you can have them fight 3, 4, 5 times a year because they're not making top dollar. But once they start making top dollar, you can't have them fighting 4 or 5 times a year. So by the time you start making top dollar, you better have your skills honed, because if you don't, you might run into the wrong guy that you weren't prepared for. So when is this PBC on Fox starting? December 22nd, right? That's the first fight, right?
Yep.
December 22nd. Charlos. They kicking it off. So that'll be the first one. You must be the only that thinks Tank is getting things right and is well managed. I don't know if I said that. Did I say that? Did I say Tank is getting things right? I didn't say that.
But you know, fans' point is when these guys get overpaid for their 1 or 2 outings a year, it's like it's enabling something that's not good for the sport, you know? Because then
I don't think it's bad for the sport. I don't think 1 or 2 guys fighting 3 or 4 times a year is good or bad for the sport. As long as the right fights get made, that's what matters. If Tank only fights 2 times next year, and one of those fights is Abner Maris, and the other fight is Tevin Farmer, I'm okay with that. I'm good. Like, those are good little fights, you know. If that means he only fights twice next year, then so be it. You know, but
it can't be a year where you fight Hugo Centeno and then Willie Monroe at 28 in your prime if you're like a Jamal Charlo or Jermell Charlo fighting Austin Trout, and it's I don't know. And those are two examples that aren't even that bad, because unlike Tank, they got 2 fights. Right. You know, I take no joy in being like bashing the PBC or anything, but for me, it's been a little too slow over there and bringing the fights we want to see, you know.
But where is it? But where are you seeing? But where is it different? Is my argument. Like,
no, you're right.
What are you seeing at Top Rank that makes you say, man, they're doing it right? Or what is it that you're seeing at DAZN or Golden Boy where you're like, man, they're giving me all the fights I want to see?
Well, one thing Top Rank does do right is put Terrence Crawford in Omaha. Like,
well,
why haven't the Charlos been in Texas?
That's a debate. That's a debate about making a fighter, building a fighter's star power. I don't think we're really talking about that, because when it comes to them fighting on TV, who cares where they fight? Man, they could be fighting in my basement. I'm still gonna watch. You know, so that's a whole different argument. I'm just talking about strictly when you say that, you know, PBC has been a little slow. My argument is that everybody is. What we're seeing with PBC is no different than anybody. It's just PBC gets more attention because they have way more fighters. So naturally you think to yourself, well, all of these fights should be happening. Errol Spence, Sean Porter Thurman Garcia, you know, all these
those
fights
did happen. So
but that's my argument, is that some of those fights are happening. You know, if we get what we think we're gonna get, we're about to see Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. Holy shit!
Nobody wanted that though.
Yeah, but are you not gonna watch it? Are you not intrigued?
Oh, of course.
Of course. I don't even think Spence wanted that fight, but he got it. Like, that fight came out of nowhere. So because that fight came out of nowhere, that meant, well, let's hold off on this Sean Porter fight. You know, like that's like if you're, again, when it comes to making fights, you have to remember, you almost have to. I'm about to put some knowledge. I'm about to peep you people in the chat room, and there aren't that many. We've been rambling for a long time, and it's starting to die out. It's a Friday night. Everybody's starting to go kick it. But if you're still with us, I'm about to enlighten you on some knowledge, on the business of boxing, right? So, if you're an entity that has fighters, whether you're a promoter, whether you're an advisor, whether you're a network, whatever you call yourself, you have to look at fighters like basically TV shows, because that's what they are. You have a bunch of TV shows. Some of them draw different ratings than others. And you know, as the person who has all these TV shows, you know I've got these dates that I need to fulfill. So in order for me to get X amount of views on this particular date, I'm going to take this TV show and I'm going to take that TV show and I'm going to put them on and we're going to produce numbers. That's all that matters. I mean, I know we get caught up in, oh, well, this guy needs to fight that guy and this, that, and the other. But again, you have to understand this is a business. And when I say business, I'm talking about from top to bottom for everyone involved. Fighters, promoters, and the networks. This is a business for everyone involved. You know, so because it's a business, that's the reason why you don't see some of the fights that you want to see, like Crawford Spence and Loma Garcia and Joshua Wilder, is because you have different people that own these TV shows and they don't necessarily want to work together, or they don't want to work together when you want them to work together, you know? So, I mean, that's, again, I get what people are saying, but my argument is that boxing is no different now as far as that is concerned than it was when Don King and Bob Arum were sitting on top. Like, it's pretty much the exact same situation. There's just a lot more names out there now, and there's just a lot more possibilities that you want to see. We just don't get
except if Don was promoting Wilder Fury, you would have something maybe like Charlo and Hurd as the co-main event. Or you would, Don used to stack those undercards.
If Don was promoting that, then yeah, you would probably have, I don't know, Adrian Broner versus Amir Khan on the undercard, or like,
right.
It would be a stacked undercard for sure. And that is an argument. Like I don't know how sexy this Wilder Fury undercard is. I mean it's been finalized, and there's some names on there. Luis Ortiz is fighting on the undercard. Joe Joyce is fighting on the undercard, and Jarrett Hurd is fighting on the undercard. But who they're fighting, yeah, it's really not that sexy. But again, that's because of the money. That's because of the money. If you don't, you only have a certain amount of money that you can spend on this card. So if you've tied up all your money in the main event, then how can you put, another good fight on there? So, but again, that's every promoter. It's not just for PBC. Golden Boy does. I mean, look at Golden Boy. Look at Golden Boy's undercard for the Canelo Golovkin rematch. Like those fights were done in 10 minutes.
No, they were good. I mean, they were fun. You had Chocolatito, you had Lemieux, and then who else? Lemieux, Chocolatito. I don't know.
Jaime Munguia.
That was a good undercard. Yeah. For today's standards, it was a good undercard. Even the Wilder Fury, for today's standards, like at least you get a real name and Jarrett Hurd on the undercard. At least you get to look at someone who's a legit, star.
Right.
Or name,
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Jarrett Hurd.
Somebody called PBC the Protected Belt Club. Y'all are savage, man. Y'all are brutal. Just brutal. The Protected Belt Club. Wow. They created an awful model for this business. Wow. I disagree. I disagree. I don't see
what. Created what?
Somebody was talking about PBC, the business model of PBC. It's better to drag a career than the best fighting the best as far as money goes. It's not any different. It's always been like this. You have to wait for those big fights. You know, even back when Sugar Ray Leonard and them were fighting, those guys didn't all fight each other for like Sugar Ray Leonard didn't get in the ring with Roberto Duran and Tommy Hearns and Hagler back to back. Didn't happen that way. It did not happen that way. They fought, and then they fought a couple scrubs. Just go check BoxRec. If you go look at BoxRec, like, you know, you're pretending not to be gullible. Yeah, just go check BoxRec, and you can see, like, these fights don't happen like that. It takes time. And meanwhile, we are getting some fights that we want to see. We've seen Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. We've seen Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. We've seen Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. We're about to see Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. We've seen Errol Spence and Lamont Peterson. I mean, Lamont Peterson ain't no bum. You know, that was a great win. We saw Errol Spence and Kell Brook. You know, like we're getting fights. It's just, you know, they're just spread out. But that's no different. That's really no different than it's been in any other era. You know, so just be patient. I think we're gonna get a lot of the fights that we want to see. Where should Tank sign? Tank is signed with Mayweather Promotions. Kind of a question is that? Tank ain't going nowhere. At least not for another 2 years. So, yes, what you need. This is an incredible time. This is a great time in boxing. Like I said, I think there's more going on in boxing now than ever before. So, I'm excited. Wilder Fury. We're getting that fight. You know, people are going to bitch if Wilder doesn't fight or if Anthony Joshua doesn't fight Deontay Wilder. And don't get me wrong, I'm a little irritated with that too, but at the same time, I can't lie. I'm going to watch Anthony Joshua if he fights Dylan White. I'll watch that rematch. In all seriousness, who wins? Oh, Stacy, let me ask you this. Just because I know the other guys dropped off and we're about to wrap up, but
bro.
What'd you say, Stacy?
The power going out.
Oh, your power's going out. Oh, okay. Well, we'll wrap up here. I'll close it off though. They need. I'll answer this question in all seriousness. Who wins, Spence versus Garcia? I think I would have to favor Errol Spence in that fight, just because he's the bigger guy. He's the natural welterweight. It's going to be a tough task for Mikey Garcia, but I do think it is a winnable fight for Mikey Garcia. I don't think Errol Spence is unbeatable. He definitely can be hit. I just don't know. I don't think Mikey Garcia is going to have enough pop to make Errol respect him, and you know, it could get ugly. Hold on, let me see. Strike Grind Radio. This narrative regarding less fights a year with the premier fighters happened after Ben mentioned Steve Kim. Wait, let me read that again. This narrative regarding less fights a year with the premier fighters happened after Ben mentioned Steve Kim. I don't think that had anything to do with it, but that is funny. The truth is every promotional company wants to keep their title holders in-house. That way Spence isn't fighting on the champs. Bob don't want to lose his belts, as well as Oscar. Yeah, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, if the business is good, I think the fights will happen. You know, I mean, clearly we saw Errol Spence fight Kell Brook. You know, the money was right for that fight, so both sides made it. If the money is right for an Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight to happen, then both sides will make it happen. But honestly, and you people can be mad at me if you want, but honestly, I think they're right. I do not think those guys should fight yet. It's too early. It's just way too early. Oh, Sean, you're still here. I didn't know you were still on.
Yeah, I'm in and out, man, with this connection.
Okay, no, Stacy just dropped off. Rock. I mean, yeah. I'm just shooting the shit right now. I'm just wasting time. I gotta go to the gym here soon anyway. So we're just closing off. I'm just answering some of these questions. Huh?
Cool. No, I was just hearing you. Cool.
Oh, yeah. No, I was about to say, you can jump off anytime you want. I'm just answering questions. Spence Porter fight is possible. The Spence Porter fight is possible.
If it's not a good fight for Sean right now, man. Why would you want to fight Errol Spence coming off winning the biggest belt in the business? I think, look, Sean, he'll fight anybody, but I think people around him that care about him are gonna advise him to do what's best for him. And I don't think that would necessarily include an Errol Spence fight.
I don't know. I like Sean's chances in that fight, though. I actually like that fight for Sean. I don't think that's a bad fight for him. I think what happened is Al Heyman said, you know what? Maybe I'll do this Errol Spence Mikey Garcia fight instead. I think that's kind of what happened to the fight when Mikey and I don't even think that was Al's plans. I think Mikey is the one that really pushed for the Errol Spence fight, and so Al just finally said, "Okay, if that's what you want, that's what we'll do."
Right.
So I think Al kind of was the one that made the decision that Spence will probably fight Garcia, and how old are you, fam? I'm 45 years old. I'm an old man, getting ancient. I've been covering boxing for about 20 years now. 20 years, a very long time.
But Spence is not a mandatory for Sean either, though. So it's not like Sean has to fight Spence if he doesn't.
No.
For whatever reason.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And like I said, I think that was more Al's decision. I think he just saw an opportunity to create another fight. And,
any chance that Mikey may have opened his mouth about a fight he now doesn't actually want to do?
Nah, because I think listen, if he didn't want to do it, he could have fought Kami.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had every excuse to say, you know what? I wanted to do the Errol Spence fight, but oh man, they want to strip me of my title, so I gotta fight my mandatory. Like, he could have fought Richard Kami, but Mikey is the one that fought and said, you know what? Man, make this happen. I want this fight. I want this fight. Mikey's the one that is really pressing for this fight, which I mean, that's what makes the fight so much more intriguing for me, because I'm like, why, Mikey? Why do you want this fight so much, man? It's almost like when Sugar Ray Leonard wanted to come back and fight Hagler. You know, everyone was like, really? Like, you want to fight Hagler? You know, Sugar Ray Leonard was retired, you know, and he came out of retirement for that fight. But the reason why is because he sat ringside at Hagler. Who did Hagler fight? I forget what fight that was.
He fought what's his fucking name? It was a war.
Yeah,
Mugabe.
Mugabe. That's who it was. Mugabe. It was a war.
Mugabe.
It was a war. And Sugar Ray, he was sitting ringside, was like,
it's just about time.
It's about time, right? It's a calculation that all fighters make. You know, you watch a guy, you see him, you think now's my time to strike. And if you calculate right, you're gonna come off looking like a genius. And if you calculate wrong, you could be in some serious trouble, you know. So
I hate that fight, man, because I think if he takes that fight, he'll lose part of his prime in that fight. If he goes up to 47 and fights Spence, which means the Lomachenko fight, you could kind of kiss it goodbye. You know.
Well, so. I don't think you can kiss it goodbye, because I think it would still happen, and I think that's Mikey's thinking too. Is that, you know, listen, if I go up and I get beat by him, the Lomachenko fight is still there. But you're right. It might not be as competitive. So
right, and yeah, I mean, and you're talking about like the business. Well, I mean, he could have a bigger name even if he loses the Spence, but I don't know. You would think now that he's been stripped of the IBF, they don't have all the belts, but I mean, for all the belts on the line and two guys who are at the top at lightweight, I mean, the fight, I don't know if it gets much sexier than right now. It's like,
yeah,
but
yeah. Well, you know,
I don't know, man.
We'll see. We'll see what's up. I'm definitely looking forward to it. How soon before Shakur Stevenson gets a title shot? Next year.
Josh Warrington, right?
Yeah, that's what he's ready now.
I think he would beat Warrington right now.
Sean, you'll jump all over this one. Who's an exciting young boxer coming through that we should keep an eye on? Depends on what you mean by young. If you mean guys like Devin Haney and Shakur, then I would say obviously both of them, but also Teofimo Lopez. But if you mean
Teofimo Lopez,
yeah, Teofimo Lopez, Gabe Flores, that's a good one. That's a real good one, actually.
Gabe Flores is gonna be very good.
Teofimo Lopez is my favorite right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give the slightest of edges to Devin because he's hard to hit. You know, and so is Teofimo, but
I don't necessarily know who would win. Like, that's not really what I'm looking.
Right.
I'm just talking about as far as the package, you know, entertainment, you know, wants to be a star, talk the talk, walk the walk. I really like Teofimo Lopez, so hopefully
and he has an awesome style, man. Like,
Fun to watch.
You know, just super fun to watch.
Right.
And that's not code for he's Arturo Gatti and doesn't have a defense. It just means he's really fun to watch. Like,
right.
Yeah,
real fun to watch. Yeah, I like Teofimo Lopez. Hopefully you guys will start calling us Teofimo Hype soon. TeofimoHype.com.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna build Devin and Teofimo into the next Floyd Oscar. So that'll go. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be great. I think Spence.
Our little home. You want to talk about young up and comers? Our little homeboy, Cashflow. Floyd Diaz, out of New York.
Cashflow. Oh yeah, he nasty. Ooh. Yeah. Y'all seen him. Y'all seen him on 24/7. Y'all know who Cashflow is. Yeah.
And he's putting in work, man. He competes every month. All that kid does is train. He already trains like a professional.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's gonna do with life.
Yeah. No, he's legit. You know? He's legit. He's doing great. He's doing great right now. Definitely keep an eye out for Cashflow.
Fernando Vargas's kids could fight.
Yeah, they can fight.
You know, I know Fernando Vargas's kids could fight, so we're in a good spot. I think, like, compared to 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, like 15 years ago, we had like Francisco Bojado was the hottest prospect, and then 10 years ago, Victor Ortiz was the hottest prospect. Like, we have a number of hot prospects that I think are going to be better than the last couple of crops of prospects, man. This is a good. It's like the 2003 NBA draft class. Like, we got some LeBrons and Carmelos heading into the league.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely listen, man. Listen, this is an exciting time in boxing. An exciting time. I'm learning a lot. When is the next time you stream like this? Stream like this. You know what? I don't. It's so random when we stream. We're gonna have to get like a solid time.
We just do it when we fucking feel like it.
Just do it when we're bored. We're just doing. I mean, honestly, listen, man. I do a lot of work. I'm constantly uploading videos and stuff like that, which is good for you guys because you guys can all watch our content and everything. But we do try and get it in. We at least try and get it in once a week. But we've been slipping a little bit, so. We'll try and get a little more consistent with it. We should what?
Maybe we'll have a post-fight tomorrow?
After the Bellew
just
fight?
Reaction? Just quick. We don't have to be on long.
That's not a bad idea. We might jump on like immediately right after the fight because I don't think I'm going to get any video. See, that's the problem is that, even though the fight's in England, we got people covering the fight in England. So we're going to be getting footage. That means I'm going to have to work on it. But we probably could go because the fight's early, right? It's during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we'll jump on. I mean, I don't know if everybody can jump on, but maybe me
like
and you,
half hour even. Just what'd you think?
Yeah, maybe me and you will do like an immediate reaction or something like that. Do it so I can praise Usyk. Somebody said do it. So do a round up of the month or weekly, stream monthly. No, we definitely come on every month. It's kind of been like every 2 weeks or so. But again, it just depends. If there's some hot news, if something really, really important happens, we'll probably jump on and talk about it. It's just, contrary to some people's belief, I'm not really someone that likes to just talk to hear myself talk. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I don't just do shows every day or every other day or something like that. If I'm gonna talk, I want to be able to talk about something important and to drop some knowledge on the fans and not school them, but just kind of help them understand, our
the business.
Yeah, the business side. Is that our Un? Is that our Un? Is that Fighthype's Un that just jumped on there? I can't tell. If it is, shoot me say something, say yes or something like that, just so I know. I should have sent you the link, Un. If that's you, you could have jumped on too. You were just at the weigh-in. Yeah, he'll be covering the Bellew fight. Where are you at now? You still on the trip?
I'm at the mall. I'm at the mall with Sammy.
Oh yeah, what are you going to get? New camera?
We good.
What's up, Sammy?
No, we're getting pretzel bites for the road.
Pretzel bites. Are you serious? You literally stopped in the mall to get pretzel bites.
They're good, man. They everywhere else only has that hands, and that shit is.
Yeah.
This is the one mall we got pretzel.
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
I don't know. For all you pretzel connoisseurs out there, you know where the real pretzel bites are. What's that?
Ben, did Floyd really go to Japan to possibly open Girl Collection Tokyo division? Rizin was all Girl Collection publicity. I didn't see any girls, though. I think if he went over to open up Girl Collection Tokyo edition, you would have seen some girls, right? Like, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So no, I don't think that's why he went over there. But no, he went over there because he thought he was gonna be doing an exhibition, and he was interested in getting paid a shit ton of money for 3 rounds in an exhibition. Check out O'Hara Davies' site. He says it how it is. Yeah, O'Hara's cool. He's cool. He's Fighthype friendly. We've done plenty of interviews with him. He's cool with our guys out in England, Raza and Un. They've done several interviews with him, and he keeps it real. Sometimes that gets him in trouble. But more respect to him, man. That's kind of how we operate over here, man. We just give it to you exactly like it's given to us. And some people like that, some people don't. It is what it is. But we're just gonna try and keep doing our thing over here and live in our own world. And like I said, we'll be doing more of these, and we'll be schooling y'all on certain incidents that are happening in the boxing world. We'll be speaking a lot more on certain people who like to speak negatively on Fighthype.com. But it's okay, man. It's okay. Like I said, it's almost 2019, and we are all living our best life. I'm living my best life. Sean's living his best life. Rockman, Stacy, everybody, we're all doing our thing, having fun, man. It's a fun sport to cover. I've been doing it for like 20 years now. Good luck to anybody else that's also doing it out there. The more people that are covering boxing, the better, because boxing certainly can use all the coverage it can get. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap up here. Sean has had to drop off because the connection in the mall sucks. Like I said, I'm getting hungry. I still got to go to the gym. I got more videos to upload, which is pretty much what I spend a lot of my time doing. Got a couple phone calls to make. Got to call a couple people that hit me up, a couple fighters that hit me up. I hope you and Steve Kim can be friends one day. Steve's cool. Steve's not cool. He's not cool. That did not come out of my mouth. Steve is not cool. I don't even want to call it a relationship. I don't have any problems with Steve Kim. The only time I have a problem with Steve Kim is when he starts talking shit about Fighthype. Because I never talk shit about him. I don't talk shit about any of the websites he worked for. I never talked bad on his UCN thing that he was doing. I never, I don't talk bad on people. The only time I start talking bad on people is when they start talking bad on me or on Fighthype. In which case I'm a respond. And that's just, it is what it is. But to my knowledge, Steve Kim has not said anything about Fighthype in a long time. Actually, he probably has taken some subliminal shots. I wouldn't know. He has me blocked on Twitter. But it is what it is. Funny story. I do remember one time Steve Kim was talking some shit about Fighthype, and I called him just because I have his number. Like I said, I've been covering the sport for 20 years. I've known him for a long time. So I called him. And he answered, Ben, what's going on? And I'm not gonna say I checked him, but I kind of was like, yo, what's the problem? Like, what is your problem? What is your problem with Fighthype? Oh, Ben, I don't know if you have enough time for me. I said, Steve, I got plenty of time. We could talk about this right now. And he didn't want to talk about it. He hung up the phone. He got off real quick. He just which I thought was funny, because I legitimately was calling him to see, like, what is your problem? Like, why are you constantly talking smack about Fighthype? But he didn't want to talk, which to me says a lot about his character. But the irony is, even after that, I remember I was covering Canelo versus Cotto in Vegas. And when I went to my seat in the media section, lo and behold, I was seated right next to Steve Kim. But it was cool. Like, there were no problems. We actually kind of joked a little bit about the fight during the fight. We chatted just a little bit. And like I said, I don't have a problem with him, man. I don't agree with everything he says and how he covers certain fighters and stuff like that. But, I'm sure he says the same thing about me. He doesn't agree with what I say or how I cover fighters or fights and stuff like that. And that's fine. Like, you can have your own style and you can do it your own way. Just don't talk shit about me. That's it. I don't talk shit about you. So don't talk shit about us. And that's pretty much my attitude with a lot of people in this sport who cover boxing. But for whatever reason, a lot of people in this sport that cover it want to talk shit about us. I don't understand it. But again, like I said, we'll get into all that on another date. That's gonna take a good three-hour conversation for me to really get into it and address everybody, and I want to save it for another time. We wasted, I don't want to say wasted, but we spent a good 2 hours talking about a lot of other things, and then this last maybe an hour and a half, then this last 30 or 40 minutes I've just kind of been answering your questions and whatnot. But yeah, that being said, we'll call it a wrap. If you guys have any questions, save them for next time. And we'll definitely start taking more of your questions and trying to give you a little more insight into this crazy world and my crazy life and all of our crazy lives covering the sport. All right. So, yeah, until next time, guys. Well, actually, check back tomorrow. We probably will be doing one. Check out LDBC and form your own opinion. James, I probably will not do that just because I don't have the time to check out anybody else's stuff, and I don't mean that to be offensive or anything like that. I just literally do not have time. I mean, I honestly don't even have time to be doing these chats. There's so many other things that I need to be working on and stuff, just to keep you guys happy, to keep the fans happy. But I do sometimes need a break. I like chopping it up with all the guys that work for Fighthype. It's always fun talking to them, so I kind of use this as an opportunity to do that. But again, like James, LDBC, hey man, as long as you guys are covering the sport, that's a good thing. Now I might not agree with someone's opinion or how they feel about something or whatever, but as long as you're talking about boxing, hey man, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. But just know, if you haven't been covering the sport as long as me, if you haven't been doing this for 20 years, then you're probably not going to know something that I don't already know. So if LDBC is about talking about supporting black fighters and talking about racism in the sport and this, that, and the other, that's great. I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've seen some things, and I know that there are some issues and there are some biases out there and whatnot, and I do think that those things need to be exposed. My only thing is, if you're not getting people in the industry to talk about it, then what you're saying is really pointless. It's the people in the industry that you have to get talking about it, the fighters, the trainers, even writers, other writers. I've had conversations with writers who have told me some crazy things about racism and stuff like that goes on, in the sport. But when it comes time to talking about it, they don't want to come on record and talk about it. So from my experience, that's the biggest problem you have if you're talking about, racism and stuff like that in the sport, is that, yeah, you could be talking to people about it and they could be telling you about some messed up situations, but when it comes time to actually talk on the record about it, they don't want to do that. So that's why I don't put my energy into talking about that kind of stuff, because the people that I need to talk about it, they don't really want to talk about it. So I try and focus on, the actual fights, the fighters, the breaking news and stuff like that. And I think that's what's made us successful up until this point. There's a lot of other successful channels out there. Keep doing your thing. Just don't talk shit about us. There's just no need to. I don't talk shit about y'all. So, more power to you. That being said, I got some videos to chop. Don't forget the Contender finale is tonight. Actually, Shane Mosley Jr. Sugar Shane's son is fighting in the finale. He's fighting Brandon Adams, I think. So yeah, check that out. I believe it's on Epix. Andre Ward will probably be there. A couple other people will be there. I've got my man Un. He'll be in the UK. Un and Raza will be in the UK tomorrow covering the Usyk Bellew fight. So we'll be getting a lot of footage from that. And we'll definitely be back on tomorrow after the fight, very, very briefly. And, 10 a.m. Eastern time. What is it, 10 a.m. Eastern time? Please don't tell me the fight starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I don't want to wake up that early. It's way too early for me to be getting up. Fuck that. I'm used to getting up at noon. It's bad enough I had to wake up at 8:30 today just to get the weigh-in in. Gosh, those UK fights are brutal. But yeah, that being said, check back tomorrow. We will probably jump on immediately after the fight, maybe 30 minutes or so after the fight. Give our thoughts, give our take on everything. Oh, 10 p.m. Yes, 10 p.m. for the Contender. Yeah, God, 10 a.m. You're killing me. 10 p.m. for the Contender. That's on tonight. Epix, I believe, is the channel. Tune into that. Show your support. Show your love to the sport. And I'd say donate to Fighthype, but we don't take donations. So just watch our videos and subscribe and spread the word. And if you like what we do, then keep coming back, because we do it for y'all. So yeah, that being said, check back tomorrow. Peace out.